There we go. Are we up? I think so. Yeah, I think so. But down to 10. 200. So you're good. That's good. How's that doing that? No, if you walking down the street, someone's gonna think
What are they gonna
you're
think?
a little fruity. But
I'm
I'm all about it.
you're down for the foodie thing? Would your mom and dad be okay with it?
Yes.
I forgot because
I'm too whitewashed. They have to. They have to.
they have to. No, that's a fair point. So this is like the first test of our podcast here. We haven't really picked out a name yet,
Oh, we got plenty.
but he thought of this as like a homework assignment. He went home, he
Oh
ate
yeah.
his curry, he got his notebooks out, and
Oh
he
yeah, yeah.
started writing notes away. So
That's
go
all I
and
know.
list off some of the names.
This was AP name generating session. All right.
No, that's fair. Okay.
I got a 5 on the exam right here.
Yeah, no, you got a 5 and an extra credit. So like, I was like, oh, maybe like, dude comes up with like 5 names.
No, we came up with like 3 good ones that one day.
What were the 3 good ones that we came
I
up
think
with?
we had H2B boys, H2B visa,
H2B visa boys.
H2B
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
visa, the butter chicken boys,
Yeah, that's right.
garam masala, something like that, something like that. This is so weird. It's like we're just chilling, but like profesh.
Yeah.
Same.
Well, here's the thing though. Why we those were the first 3 names we came up with, and we thought we were gonna go with those. But you're like, no, hold my garam masala
Hold
because
my garam masala.
you went out and you actually got a full set of names.
Yeah, dude, I told you, like, I'm all about it. Like, I feel like a lot of people, they always talk shit, but they don't execute. I was like, dude, we're gonna execute. Um, but anyway, from that day, I can just read them off. Like, you want me to just read them off?
No, go for it. Just
Okay,
read
okay.
me the first one you have out.
So we had
yeah.
the H2B or H2B boys, bros, whatever. Garam masala boys, butter chicken boys or bros. All boys, bros, interchangeable, right? Uh, it's gonna be coffee and coconut, right? Okay, there's coffee with Karan. It could be like coffee with coconut, coconut with coffee,
I feel like it would have been funny if
coffee with coconut milk.
if we had, it would have been funny if we had like a Colombian guy with us.
We should have pina coladas and just be sitting. Look, you're already in pina colada dress, and
Habibi.
we'll do the classic coconut for me because like brown outside, white inside, and then you have like the more authentic coconut, or you have the mango.
Yeah,
You have a mango, yeah.
a mango. You know what's crazy? I actually have no idea what's inside of pina colada.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I know the pina colada, just like the pina colada mix, right? Because I hate coconut flavored things, but I like real coconut. So all I know is pina colada is like pineapple, coconut, and then the liquor could be like that Malibu
Liquor?
stuff.
Habibi.
Wait. We
It's,
don't do that.
but it's some. How dare you?
Assalamu alaikum.
See, this
Walaikum assalam.
brown folks. It matters what type of brown you are.
Yeah, mashallah, mashallah.
Yeah. Stop.
Dude, I actually was last night. I was at um, one of my other Muslim friends' house, and I'm not used to eating meat at home, right?
Yeah.
Dude, his mom makes the best. It was like chicken curry rice, okay? But that chicken curry rice slaps so hard, bro. I came in already stuffed from dinner, and I still was like, "Yo, auntie, like, honestly, I'm getting hungry just like being here. Like, I'm gonna get a plate."
But you don't really. But your meat choices are very unique. Explain that to me.
I mean, not really. Like, so I'm Gujarati, right? If people can't tell, so I'm Patel, hotel, motel, Patel.
No, Hansel, he's not even like joking. That is his actual last name.
Yeah. Motel is my middle name. No.
That was your B. Let me see H1B
This is
visa.
H2.
H.
We're upgrading. Okay. Actually, I could say I'm student or not student. I'm. You could say your student visa, H2B visa.
Yeah, I can say.
Technically, I'm H of infinity visa, right? American born.
Isn't that just green card at that point?
No, that's a citizen, bro. Infinity. Never mind.
Yeah.
But
See, I have
Okay. What are we talking about? The chicken thing or meat choice?
yeah, your meat choices.
So technically, right, most Hindus don't eat meat. It's pretty commonly known throughout India. Most people are vegetarian, and all of my family is. But like I told you, my dad, he's the one who eats meat. And then so growing up, since we're not super religious, none of that, my dad doesn't really care. So he would eat and then gave it to me and my sister. I still ate here and there growing up, but it would be a very infrequent thing. Like only when we go out to eat like at a restaurant or something, which, you're brown, so it's like
Yeah.
once a month max, right? And or it would be have like those chicken parties, like all the dads go play volleyball or whatever, and then go to the family friend's place and you eat like chicken. It's kind of a weird like chicken party. Like we don't call it that. That's what the dads call it.
I've never heard of a party dedicated to
I know,
chicken.
right? Yeah. It's such an Indian thing because we don't eat meat that often. So when you do, it's like a big event.
It's like it's an event.
It's an event because the only time
That's what it is.
it's a federal holiday. Independence Day, chicken party. Like,
I love, yeah, get a rank here, bro. Wait, so you guys like have then a whole like, is it like a cultural thing? Is it just like a your family here, Des Moines community thing? How do you guys determine?
no, I think everyone does it, right? Like all I knew from like K through 12 was that, right? And then I mainly only know Gujarati people. So all the guys, like, we just eat meat, yeah, but it's not at home. Like Gujarati food, a lot of Indian food, unless it's Punjabi food, or at least in what I've eaten throughout my life, it's usually vegetarian.
Yeah,
But like when I went to his house, right, they have stuff. I was just telling him that because like obviously like eating meat's not like it's pretty low key, right? But homemade, like my mom doesn't make meat, right? Because she's vegetarian. Me and my dad cook here and there. Like he just recently started cooking stuff, but it's not a common thing.
does it bother your mom that you guys eat though? Does she ever like?
Probably in the beginning it kind of did, but it
Is
that
it
tol
is it?
that tolerance increases over time.
I was gonna say, is it that she just gave up knowing that she couldn't change you guys?
It
Or
wasn't
is
re-
it,
there wasn't much resistance. It was just like Like I think she doesn't prefer it, but she doesn't dislike it either. Because my grandma definitely dislikes it, but that's why I tell her all the time that I do it.
yeah, here's the thing though, like so like I'm Afghani, bro. Like I can't live without meat.
Yeah. He's Afghani too.
Who?
He the Where I was last night,
Yeah.
because he's born in Afghanistan,
Mm.
but he grew up in India. So that's why I would draw parallels
Oh,
from when I
wow.
would be like, oh yeah, no, I know my buddy, like, in the unit in the National Guard, he's like similar way. Where you can understand Hindi and Urdu is basically Hindi.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I'm so whitewashed, I'm trying to learn Hindi from him. He knows Hindi.
So he was your Google translator.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was.
yeah. Yeah.
What is the new app that is like going
Du-
crazy for
Duolingo?
Duolingo?
Yeah, bro, I've been using Duolingo for like a fat minute.
Okay, so okay, how has it helped you though? Like dead ass.
Nah, it doesn't. Bro, it's hard. You have to look. I'm Gujarati and I barely know Gujarati, right? Because I didn't grow up speaking Gujarati really, mainly English. The only way it improves, or if it has, is because you use it with people who actually speak. So my grandparents are obviously fluent, and so it's only because I try to speak with them that it might have gotten a little bit better over the years, just a little bit. But like Hindi, I can kind of understand it a little bit better. But bro, Duolingo, I'm only doing it like the 2 minutes to get the streak.
Well, so when you do it though, like is it Gujarati that you're focusing on, or is it or is it
No, it was just Hindi. It was just Hindi. Like I got it then.
okay?
Yeah. But yeah.
What about your sister though?
Nah, she doesn't care, bro. She's
But can she speak? Is that the question?
Yeah. The sad thing is she still knows Gujarati a little bit better than I do. I think it's because like when you're young, right? So I grew up speaking Gujarati when I was really, really little. But then when my sister went to school, she speaks English, so I copied her. But I started speaking at a younger age. Because, right, say my sister started speaking only English at like first or second grade.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm in like kindergarten speaking English. So then throughout growing up, like I try more and actually practice, but it, you know, didn't hear from me, but she's still like a tiny bit better than I am.
Oh, okay.
I still like no matter how many times I try, I'll make more mistakes. I mean, I make mistakes like pretty much every time I speak, but
You know what's crazy is, and I didn't even think about this. A friend was talking to me, and we were like talking about growing up differently and whatever. And he brought up this idea. He's like, he asked me, he's like, you can speak multiple languages. I'm like, yeah, I can. He's like, is that common for you guys? I'm like, typically, like for us growing
Yeah,
up over there and then coming, I mean, two languages at a minimum, guaranteed. I was blessed to say I can speak three, four, so it was a good hand.
right.
Then he asked me this twist question. He's like, what do you mostly think in? And I'm like, what do
Yeah,
you mean?
remember I asked you that too.
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
to. And I was like, what do you mean? What do I think? And they were like when you're like upset, do you think in English or
yeah,
what do you think? I'm like, ah, I never thought about
yeah.
it.
Because you said when you were younger, you did think in like in Pashto, right?
Yeah, I thought it in Pashto. Yeah,
But
yeah.
then over time, it started transitioning to English and Pashto, and then now you would say it's primarily English, right?
I would say it's primarily English, and I wouldn't even say it's not Pashto or not
Okay.
because the thing is that, like, moving here is like, yeah, you have your mom and dad with you that speak the language,
Yeah, yeah,
but like you at the end of the day see your parents, for I guess now because the majority of my life I was during school time,
yeah, yeah,
elementary,
yeah, yeah.
all that stuff. So I didn't see them for more than like 6, 7 hours a day. That's not really enough, I would say, to keep a constant conversation, considering the fact that
Right.
when you're learning a language, everybody around you is speaking that unanimous language.
Yeah, yeah,
Because that's the thing about Urdu. Like I grew up around it. I was thinking about Pashto. I
right,
grew up
right,
around it. So that is what I picked up. I was learning English in Pakistan.
right.
When I came here, it was like I was like, oh, so y'all don't speak another
Yeah,
language? Like we speak Espanol.
Espanol.
And I was like, I don't know who that is. I was like, I have no idea. And because like even I mean maybe like it's different over there now, compared to technology, but like when as
Yeah,
far as I remember as a kid, I didn't know anything about the world outside of America. So
right.
it was like a
What
complete
after you
shock.
moved here, like growing up?
What's up?
Well, you said you don't know anything about the world outside of America. Are you saying outside of
Sorry,
America?
let me rephrase. Outside of
Okay,
Pakistan,
okay. That makes more sense.
except for maybe America.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, America's like glamorized,
Every
like the West.
we have America, America,
America,
America, America.
America. Yeah, when my grandparents talk about Dallas, they're like Dallas.
Yeah.
Dallas. Yeah.
It took me the longest time. Even my dad told me it's like we're going to go to Des Moines. I'm like,
Des Moines. They say Salad, Des Moines, Dallas, Pizza.
we're I don't know of any other cultural group. I think we're the only group of people that will say salad,
Salad.
but we will throw spices in the
Yeah,
salad.
technically, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like you go to a restaurant, right, and you get a salad as a side dish,
yeah.
and you got lawn clippings, you got you got carrots, you got
Got the
cucumbers, right? That's like, and then you got your ranches and
Your
your
ranch.
freshes.
That's the whitest thing you've ever. You got your ranch.
That's what what do you call them? Like your condiments for your
No,
salad?
it's just funny. Like that's probably well, like there are actually different kinds of ranch. You're talking about actually different kinds of ranch, right?
I'm gonna
You're talking
say
about dressings,
complete country ranch on this one.
country ranch.
Complete country. So that's what you got for the American. And then you come over to our gatherings, our parties,
Yeah.
right? You got the salad, right? In the salad, you got honestly half cut tomatoes.
I hate, and that's why I hate salad. Like I hate Indian prepared salad most of the time.
Americans, they do the generosity of slicing couple. Out of a tomato you can get like 6, 7 pieces. Pakistanis, Indians, brown folk, four
Two to
chunk,
two to four.
2 to 4 pieces.
Two to four.
That's your salad. So when you're like
I hate
grabbing
raw
something,
tomato.
wait, you hate raw
I
tomato?
hate raw.
I can't relate to that.
Really? Are you
Yeah,
one of those people who take a raw tomato and just bite it like an apple?
yeah. And the fact that you don't, you're wrong for that.
No, I'm not.
No, don't you eat an apple like that too?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
peel
yeah.
your apple.
But it's completely different because the
Why?
texture is better. It's crisp. You don't eat like a tomato. Tomato is tasteless without spices in it, or if you cook it and stuff.
I think COVID got you.
No, pizza sauce and shit like that. Like that actually tastes good because it's cooked and then you have like some spices.
First of all, tomato sauce for pizzas has so many other ingredients in it.
Not real. If you make homemade tomato sauce, okay, what is it? It's just tomato, like some spices
And salt and black
salt,
pepper and garlic and
But even then, you don't necessarily need the garlic and stuff like that. But even if you do, like just garlic, like that's
wait,
tomato
you're saying
garlic
you
sauce.
can tell me that a tomato doesn't have flavor?
I don't. Okay, obviously it has a tomatoey taste, but I don't think it's a flavor that's flavorful enough to consider eating it by itself. But for me, it's more so that texture. But anyway, this is unimportant. Go on.
I love how haven't stayed on topic.
Yeah, I know. Like you keep on asking questions, we're supposed to get to this, but
Oh yeah, the name.
yeah,
At this moment, we need to declare a name.
I feel like, bro, it'll be switching up, but we can have like a recurrent one. But some of these, dude, I don't know if I can say it like out loud, but
I'll say it.
well, no, we'll full send it because you're my accomplice already. You're
Yeah, no. This is me already being screwed. I don't really have.
You know, if you hear this and you're offended, you didn't hear it. All right.
No. Let's rephrase that statement in the non-politically correct way. You chose to be here
That is facts.
on your own. You have at the any opportunity to take your
First-
telephone, press power button, turn off.
When you click the stream button, whatever, whatever it is, that's gonna be $500, bro. It's expensive.
No, a guy knows. Like, yeah.
But that's a virtual consent form. You know, once you open it up, you see our one brown, one whitewash face. You know, and I'm the whitewashed one actually. You know, don't let this fool you. But
Yeah. No.
yeah.
The complexion makes me.
But anyway, all right, we'll get to it. So we left off at the coffee and coconut. All right. So I said chai and coffee too. You know that's some of these are similar. This one, all right.
Do you want to say all the cancelable ones at the end?
No, they're kind of mixed in, bro.
Okay, send
there's
it.
too many.
Okay, yeah.
Other one was 2 Reasons to Die. Twin Towers, Biryani Boys.
Oh yeah.
Desi University, which I actually like that one.
Okay.
That one's, all ages appropriate. Good name. Desi University.
The name is appropriate. The conversation's not gonna be.
Yeah, that university is gonna get, absolutely canceled. But Two Brown Boys, that's a simple. Kashmiri Boys.
That's funny.
What's good?
That's good.
Right? India, Pakistan, Kashmir. All right.
I love how you're trying to include my land into your conversation.
Hey, your land. I don't give a shit about it. Scammers and bombers. Okay.
That's a good one.
Okay, this one's in parentheses. Suicide bomber tech support. All right.
Okay.
Samosa chaat. This one was good because do you eat that as well, like chaat, like samosa chaat, papri?
Yeah.
Right. So samosa chaat, but like chat, like samosa chat.
Okay.
And imagine we had samosas and like chaat, like eventually.
You know what's crazy? Right now it is like 8:44, and the only thing I've had to break my fast was like a bottle of cold flu medicine.
You didn't eat because you had this whole past like hour or so, right? That you could have.
Yeah. Well, I guess I could have eaten. Yeah. So
told me I was literally thinking about bringing snacks. Because I was like in the car, I'm like, should I bring it? But then I'm like,
I would have been I would have been like super greedy. I would have been like, yo, can you stop by like Persis and grab me some food?
Purses?
Yeah.
Perses. You say purses?
Persis.
Okay, maybe that's the right way. Yeah. But when I heard that, I thought purses, like carrying a purse.
It's PRSIS.
Isn't it PRCIS or like Percy, like Percy Jackson's, like the American white way. I thought it was PE. Whatever. We're getting off track again.
I'm mesmerized.
Anyway, I've only been once or twice, so I don't remember the exact logo. But chai and chutney, okay, that was another one. Chai bala.
That was one of my favorite ones. Yeah.
Beef and pork.
What is it?
Beef and pork. I mean, the difference is I don't eat beef, right?
And I don't eat pork.
Yeah, so like that's the similarities. Both. Curry munchers was like that one's easy. Curry munchers and chapli and chutney. The chapli I googled. That was like some Afghani thing, I think.
I mean, yeah, we have chapli kebabs.
Yeah.
So that's our thing.
And then the thing that I thought of today, because I texted you like randomly like curry something, right?
Did you text me something today?
No, I said biryani boys, curry. But I was thinking curry convos.
Curry convos?
Curry conversations, but it could be that was another one, just random thought. But there's some gold. There's some gold in here. But there's too many good ones. Like
most of it's around your neck right now.
What's up?
Most of it is around
Oh
your
yeah,
neck.
yeah.
Yeah.
Again, the whitewashedness, you know. I think the coffee and chutney or chai chutney, those are the two reasons to die is just funny. Twin Towers is funny.
When you said
Cameras and Bombers is
mm,
funny.
that's good.
Chai
That's good.
Wala, Kashmiri Boys is good. I think the ones that have a nice ring are like Desi University, Kashmiri Boys, Scammers and Bombers, Beef and Pork. But
You gotta think of it this way though. You gotta think of it like one day we're gonna get like an Emmy or a Golden Globe for this, right? And they're gonna have to say our names on stage.
exactly, that's all I'm like, bro.
And the award goes to Pork and Beef.
Suicide Bomber Tech Support.
Suicide Bomber and Tech Support.
No, it's literally just one phrase. Suicide Bomber Tech Support.
Oh, just one.
Tech
Not even a
support?
hyphen.
No, tech support for the the activities. Like
No, fair. Okay.
I don't want to like actually. Then they're gonna think this is a completely different thing if we talk too much about bombing and stuff.
You know what's crazy? The one I'm really starting with is Chai Chats,
Chai chats.
but I don't think it's. I think it's too catchy.
Too cha.
Yeah, Chai. I like the Kashmiri Boys.
Kashmiri Boys.
I think I like the Kashmiri Boys.
Because Kashmiri Boys, it hits all three notes. All right. So India, Pakistan, right? We're like sharing something, and it's like the combination.
Yeah. The middle ground.
Kashmiri Boys just sounds nice. I think Jai Wala sounds nice too, but it's a little broad.
Okay.
But it just sounds nice. Obviously, none of this is that deep, right? Whatever rolls off the tongue.
I think it'd be hilarious if we just make our ways down the list, and every segment we just change it up.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was thinking. Like this time we are this, like this time we're this. Like
I love it. I think
what today we can choose one. Yeah.
Okay. Today, what's the first one off the top of the list?
Today, the first one was H2B, Boys, Bros, whatever.
It's funny you said because majority of the settings that I set for all this, I put them all in the files saying H2B Visa podcast.
Because like H2B, it's H2B something like fourth.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna be something else.
My only concern is there's also podcasts out there by the name of H2H.
Really?
Yeah, and they're
head is that H2H head?
I don't know what it stands for.
Today we could be Kashmiri Boys.
Now let's stick with H2B.
H2B.
That's the H2B. So we just
we
spent
can do H2B because the second one will be something else, and we're gonna be something else.
Exactly.
H2B Boys.
We're gonna grow from this. We're gonna go from a studio apartment in the middle of downtown with an actual backdrop and not a bunch of tripods.
No, it gives the aesthetic, dude. It's not brown if there's not random shit in the back. Bro, don't tell me you don't got a garage full of bullshit, bro.
Thank God.
To be better.
That's solid. No, that's good. That is such a fact that now I'm gonna put a broom back there just to make everything seem more suiting.
No, there's also got to be some weapon of choice for like spankings.
Oh,
some because a lot of those are a little too big,
The belt bitches.
Just have like a black belt, brown belt, one that's like ribbed, one that's nice and just smooth leather. Give options.
Yo, I think we just went from H2B Visa to 50 Shades of Grey.
You got the red.
Yeah, we got. I mean, for the folks that can't see behind us, we got a bunch of gold posts with red rope on them.
If we had a little name.
Yeah, no, they all the way go.
Put two of them right there. And then
For the entrance?
Little rug, and it's like.
You know what's crazy? I do have a red.
No.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, but you know why I have these?
Yeah, it's for the date thingy.
Yeah.
Did that actually happen between you and Justin, or?
So, yes, it did happen between me and him. I don't know if I have the grounds to say this, so I'm not. But it was basically for him and his now girlfriend.
Right.
So I set it up for them.
Right.
And so like we were talking about the idea back and forth quite a while, and we were thinking about like, what is the idea we were gonna go with to have a theme, and we like both agreed that I think Valentine's Day would be the best.
Yeah.
And also as like a guy.
I knew it was supposed to be your guys' night.
So this has been our thing. Like we call it date night, and we done this several times now. And typically we go to a place in Winterset called Clark's Tower. And if you Google it, it's basically a castle.
That's so ironic. Clark style.
Yeah. Yeah, no, here's the fence on that one. So that's where we typically did it. So it was like a big, like concrete castle tower. You walk up the stairs.
Wait, is that just like an abandoned tower, or do you have to ask anyone to use it?
It's in a park, and it's like in the
Pretty
trail. It's not abandoned, but it's old. And I don't know who. I don't know anything of the
No
background.
one goes there, but you don't say anything.
No, a lot of people go there.
Oh,
A lot of people go there. It's on a trail, so you're allowed to go there.
oh,
It's in a part of a public domain area,
right.
but there's things that have happened here, and I don't know who has done things out there. Could never be me. Whoever's doing things out there should stop. But they've left a little bit messy and damaged from their own forms of creative activities.
Couldn't be one of our Kashmiri boys.
No. Could never be the Kashmir boys.
Never.
Yeah. And we're saying halal on this one.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Mashallah.
Bro, that's well, I guess we're just covering all religions to be all inclusive.
I identify as a Roman Catholic now. Is that? Oh, konnichiwa. No. So anyways, so that's where we always did the date night, and it kind of just became our thing. Like we did 3-4 times a year. It
Yeah.
was a great way for us to like catch up with each other again,
Right.
get away from everybody else, have a good meal, and just like release some stress out on each other. That was really helpful for us to like talk out our
Yeah.
problems. So this year I was gonna do the same thing.
Right.
And it wasn't necessarily going to be intended for Valentine's. It was going to be actually intended for the weekend after because we both had the weekend off.
Right.
But then he started catching feelings for someone, and I was like, "Oh, interesting."
Yeah.
And then
I remember I was there when that phone call happened. When you had it all set up. Remember I was helping with the tent?
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we
That's
were
what
setting
that
up.
tent was for, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was like literally for that. So I was like, okay, so this is gonna happen. He really likes her. She's a good person. We know her, and so I was like, well, let's go to balls to the walls. I said I want to go full out.
Yeah.
So I ended up setting everything up for them, and then on
Be there
Valentine's Day.
fair, and then you're like, sit down, third wheeling. It's like, all right, what are we gonna talk about?
Yeah, here's the thing, man. Third wheeling, I'm tired of it, man.
Wait, but this just happened. What do you mean third wheeling?
Oh no. I mean, between Justin's definitely one, but like Iowa City friends, other Army friends.
Oh, just people.
Yeah, I bet they'd be like, "Hey, this is my girlfriend and my friend Ali." I was like, "Hey guys." So yeah, and yeah, so I hate third wheeling. But anyway, so the thing ended up working out just fine. So I did it as the date night for us, but also
Right.
something magical for them. So
2 separate nights.
no, we didn't end up doing it because it started raining and then the weather got bad.
Oh,
So we never followed through with it. But I mean, at least I got it set up.
but that was the whole point about the tent, right? Is it'll cover the top.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true. But like, you can't
But
change.
setting everything up sucks.
So setting everything up sucked. The wind was there as well,
Oh,
and the candle kept blowing out, and like it started getting cold. So
right.
all the variables
Not
started getting bad.
yeah.
But for majority of it, I ended up working out fine. So I had a table with all of our favorite snacks. I had a table set up with wine. I got the full I got them little menus on there as well. Little scriptures in there, and then I had the gold post on the side,
Yeah.
and then I had the red carpet rolled out for them. So and this was all done on a
She
bridge
probably
in
was like,
Johnson.
what? Well,
So here's
that
the
was
thing.
first day.
I still have the photos.
Really?
Yeah, I still have the photos. I'm gonna post them on Instagram. I just got the rest of the photos from his phone. I'm gonna make it look a little
Yeah.
promo video out of it. But when you see it, I'm gonna tell you right now, husbands, boyfriends out there, whatever the
Mhm.
situation is,
They're done.
y'all don't know what we can do. Y'all don't know what I just did for because people walked through. It was on this bridge. It wasn't at Clark's Tower. This was in a different area in Johnston.
Right.
Couples are walking through,
They're-
and I'm still setting up, and they're like,
They're thinking,
"God, who is this for?" They thought I was proposing to somebody else. That's who they
Yeah.
thought I was doing it for.
You
Let me look closer.
You got, you got the.
Come a little bit closer. Come a little bit closer. Yeah, it's
And
not. Yeah.
I mean, I think naturally that would be an assumption to make, especially with the fancy, the poles and the red carpet.
Yeah. So people were like, "Oh, is this for proposal?" I'm like, "Nah, this is just for my best friend's Valentine's Day."
It's 2024. Look at me. Look at him. Like, come on, you know?
We're progressive, folks.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
this is an interracial, large height difference.
Huge,
You know,
huge height.
homosexual couple.
Because I was like doing some markings. Like I was like posting those picture walls up there. I was doing some marking, and I ironically did measurements for one of the frames, and it was at 6'3", and I put a pin in there, and I marked it with a
That's how
pencil.
tall
And then I
McKinney is.
looked up there. I was like, no way. And I held my phone up there too at that
Yeah.
height.
Like,
I was like, is that you? I stand next to him and I look at him. I'm like, okay, I know you're taller. You're vividly taller,
yeah,
but like, it's not like
he's just a
you
big
know like that. You know, I'm like, oh, like in a like a little bit
yeah,
elevated. He and I noticed this in photos, and when we take them together,
Like-
vertical down, completely, like this, like counting his toes. This is, and we're best friends. It sucks, man.
What do you mean it sucks?
Because he's younger than me,
Yeah, I mean,
and everybody would go, no, but it's
but
like
also, bro, like, he's white.
he's
most-
Native American white.
Yeah, like most brown people, like us brown, are gonna be shorter than the average white person.
But it's like even though for us, natural average height is what, like 5'7", 5'10".
No, I mean in America it's like 5'9", 5'10". So like I think in for at least India, like India, I think the average is like literally 5'5", 5'6", like for a
Really?
male. Yeah, yeah. Because I remember a while back, uh, I just like randomly was like Googling it because I think it was in high school. I hit my growth spurt, and I've always been like kind of on the shorter side, right? But I was just curious, because from family, friends, and family, my mom's side is tall, and my family friends, they're generally taller than me. And then I saw that it said in India, 5'5", 5'6", I think is average for Indian male, and for a female, it's 5 feet, right? In
Yeah.
America, the average, of course, is going to be skewed as mainly white people, is like 5'9", I think, or like 5'10". And then so if you're like, say, an Indian or, Pakistani person born in America or grown up with American food, American diet, American whatever, I feel like you'd fall in between there.
But what even sucks more is that like I'm not even average.
Well, I think you're Pakistani average, maybe
Yeah,
American,
no one cares about that.
but like this, like it's just genetics. Like I'm not average by American standards, but I think I'm technically slightly tall over there because if it's 5'5", 5'6", well, I'm
'Cause-
5'8",
Yeah.
so couple inches.
But here's the funny thing. So my dad, he's like five.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say he's
Because I
like
know you told
5'10",
me about
6 foot.
the vitamin thing, and
Man.
your cousins are all tall.
I don't know if it's a conspiracy. I don't know if it's scientifically proven. I
gotta
haven't
test
even
on-
done the research. But when I
test on
look
it.
at the evidence, right? When I look at the evidence, it had to have been true.
There's overwhelming support for
But
the
maybe not.
vitamin B or something.
No, it's like vitamin D pills, like concentrated calcium pills or something like that.
Really?
Or
Oh,
something.
yeah. If you take them together,
Mm.
I think so because vitamin D I think helps you absorb calcium. And I think this is American bullshit where they're like, "Oh, drink milk to make you tall." But I think both of those together, you have calcium, but I don't have vitamin D. You're not going to be absorbing the calcium that you're actually getting. So
Yeah.
together, maybe it could have increased height when you're
But-
young.
So my little brother, Safala, right?
Yeah.
He recently started having some pain in his knees. Now we were like, "Oh, it's whatever. You're like you probably fell off your bike.
It's
You
like my
should have.
parents just like, "Oh, your shit's
Well,
broken.
maybe you
walk
should have been
off."
studying inside or not outside playing all day, huh?
It's because you're on your phone.
All day on your phone. No, so he got the injury, and we didn't think much about it. And then the problems got to the point where like he had actually struggling. He was struggling bending down to pick up things. So we were like, "Oh, like something might actually be wrong." What? Oh. Yeah.
Perfect height for Justin, bro.
So this Kashmir Valley is about to be mine very quickly.
Comfortable. I was gonna say
Oh man,
that.
that was good. That was funny. That was
How can we do what we're like? Because I wasn't expecting all this, right? We just talk and chill. And
Yeah.
shit.
And here's the crazy thing. You might be wondering, like, why are we doing a podcast? The original idea for this was just the fact that, like, whenever we did hang out, it wasn't like very often, but like, whenever we did,
I was at school. You were here. I was studying abroad. I came
Yeah,
back December. So from December to January, it was like 2, 3, maybe 4 times max.
yeah.
And that's the entire past 2 months. And then
No, but like even like when we go to drill weekend, or even when we go to Iowa
yeah,
City,
yeah,
we just have genuinely good, funny, longevity
yeah.
conversations. And then the idea came like I think
We were
you
hyping.
said it. We were Hy-Vee, and I think he said he was like we should do a podcast. I was like that's not a bad idea.
Actually, it's the other way around. You said it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we should." I've actually always thought about it. I thought it'd be a cool thing, and
Oh,
then
okay,
that's when
okay.
we started talking about the names.
And that's like, and then now this came to what it is. Honestly, to be honest, kind of forgot the camera was there for a second.
Yeah, I forgot about it too.
Yeah,
I just saw that. I
but
don't
yeah,
know why. I'm seeing the monitor right there, and I'm completely not registering how that monitor is there recording.
yeah.
Because I'm just looking.
That's how
I'm
good
looking at you, and you're not distracting at all. Sure.
No. This is so what's the word? Monotone?
Monotone's one color. You could just say like low key monotone.
This is low key monotone.
Wait, no, not monotone, bro. Monotone is the voice.
I don't what is the term?
Monochromatic, I think.
But that's black and white.
No, monochromatic
This
is
is a
like
neutral outfit.
neutral. Yeah, monocolors. Oh, now you got me interested. What that word is?
Two brown boys sitting in a room.
Our brain. This is why we're not pre med. This is why we're.
So you have a lump in your chest. It could be cold flu. I don't know. Like,
Did you swallow?
these all might be a yo-yo. I don't know.
Vitamin D.
Is that why you're 7'8"? Like, is that what it is?
Got a lump in your throat, but I can see you. You know, 7 feet tall.
Oh, yeah. No, whatever. Yeah, we would never be
We
done.
can't be twin towers because we're not tall enough.
Actually, we would be perfect twin towers because one's a little bit taller than the other, and we are crashing this.
We got knocked down.
Yeah, no, we're knocking this out of the park. We
That's
just
the
landed.
only time I'm gonna get a home run,
Yeah.
especially with my shoulder and I'm brown.
The secret behind that was actually
I'm not playing baseball.
for us. We try to embrace the American culture. So what we saw
I'm embracing.
was not even the Twin Towers. We saw the football goalposts.
Uh,
That's what it was.
Wait. So you called the football goalpost?
The Twin Towers. Yep.
No, you didn't. There's no way you could have done that. Like 10 years, like when you're young, people around are, especially like 10 years ago.
Bro, 10 years or 10 years ago, 20 years ago, not pretty much.
No. That's what happened. But I'm saying the residual tension around that subject, obviously is more intense then than it is now.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know about it in school until we learned about it, right? Because I think I was born. Yeah, I was born, but I wasn't like a year yet. I was young.
You were
You were
2001?
2000 just barely. I was supposed to be
okay.
2001, but I'm December.
Yeah, so like again, like we were kids, we didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, crazy thing, I didn't even know about it until I came into America in 2011.
Wow.
Because they were like, "Oh, it's the 10-year anniversary." I'm like, "Of what?" They're like,
What?
They're like 9/11. Like, I don't know about that.
And they probably don't actually realize where you're from, and then they'll be like,
Yeah, that's a good
People
point. I guess I wasn't very.
"Wasn't that your, something?" They're like making jokes and shit.
Yeah. See, that's the kids are mean, but the kids I was around, they were always nice.
Really. But you went to the Hush. How do you say it? What is it? The school, Fairfield Hush.
Oh, Maharishi,
Maharishi.
the cult.
Maharishi. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You were there.
Yeah, I went to Maharishi School, Age of Enlightenment. Maharishi Yogi was the name of the school, and
I would just send a child in the name.
we were all
a name like that.
we were dumb. We were retarded. So we didn't.
No way, dude. That many brown people, like kids, you can't be dumb, bro. And you said they did cool stuff. The project-based learning, the internship.
Depending on what grade you were in, the curriculum was not linear in whatsoever. So like what I did, like you would think like, okay, like third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth grade up to there, right? Like you would do, like reading, writing, math, and then like some hard science like chemistry about.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we didn't. And we were far behind as well. I didn't get to do biology for the
It was
first
probably
time.
random uncles and aunties that got together and tried to like teach, like they're not like, like.
Oh, like the history of Maharishi or what?
Yeah.
Well, so the history of Maharishi was basically there's like two teachers. One, they were both from India, and the one Maharishi teacher taught the other one, and then the school was named after him. But it was about transcendental meditation. inner peace, treasure and meditation, doing, reading the Bhagavad Gita,
Did you guys
and
actually do that?
yeah, we did.
Meditation?
No, to a point, I can say from the year of 2009
Really?
to 2015, I was basically Hindu.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I'm like, why did your parents send you to a Hindu thing when you're Muslim? Like, wouldn't they actually be the last place to
Well,
send
we
you?
say Hindu, but like the practices and the culture there is
Gita,
Hindu.
Bhagavad Gita, like,
But overall, the school was good because it was
right,
either Fairfield, so it was either Maharishi School in Fairfield,
right.
or the other option was FMS, FHS, Fairfield High School, Fairfield Middle School.
There was no mosque with their kind of smaller schooling thing embedded in it,
What in Fairfield High School?
just in Fairfield. Because this Maharishi thing, it sounds like, like basically a temple that kind of has a school on the side.
And we did have a temple,
Yeah. So was there not a temple, but like not Hindu temple, but like
a Muslim temple.
mosque? Yeah,
No, it wasn't.
that had.
There was basically no affiliations of any Muslims there at all. For the fact that I think we were there, and I may be wrong on that, but I'm only telling you from based off of what I saw, what I
Yeah,
see.
because I've never seen a mosque in Iowa actually.
There's
I've
actually
seen it in
one.
Illinois, but not mosque.
There's two here in Iowa that I know. Well, there's a couple. There's a lot of mosques actually here in Des Moines.
I only know the mandir that we've gone to, so I know one
Okay.
Hindu temple, but I don't know any mosques.
Yeah, there is a lot. I think in the Des Moines, Metro, Waukee area, there's like I think like 4 or 5. I don't know where they are as far as addresses, but I know how to get to them. There's one I think in Boone, Iowa, and it's a mosque.
Yeah,
You got the
they're
dome, you got the
beautiful. I
chamandar,
love the architecture.
the architecture of a mosque,
Nice.
and even the temple, like the Hindu temple. Any, I would say, religious monumental area housing is always gonna be beautiful.
But I feel like more the East stuff. Like American churches, if they're like the state funded churches, it's just a building,
It's just it is,
I'm saying like, bro, when I was in Turkey and I saw the mosque there, oh my God. I thought I was like living in a magazine. And of course, I'm Hindu, right? So I'm used to the Hindu temples. So mosques look really nice to me. Maybe it's the other way around for people who are Muslim. I don't
Yeah.
know. But I feel like Eastern religion buildings, those are really nice. Western, I'm sure they are too. Like definitely, churches are beautiful. Like when I was in Europe and stuff, very pretty. But there's a certain kind of, I'd say there's a certain kind of uniqueness in the Eastern religion stuff. And of course, for me, I only know like, okay, Hinduism, Islam, Buddhism, right? I've never been to a Buddhist temple, but I'm sure they're similar. They all look unique, each building that's built, but then they also have like the architecture looks similar, and it's just so aesthetically pleasing, which I don't necessarily like. No shame to Western religion, whatever. Of course, not at all. I probably know more about Christianity than I know Hinduism.
That's the
Because
crazy thing,
I've
though.
grown up here. Even when I say heaven or hell and all that stuff, I say, heaven or hell, like because I don't even know what it is in Hinduism because I didn't grow up religious. But I grew up around all the white kids, and they talk about Christmas and you pick up things here and there.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Like, I mean, I would still say I know enough about my religion and culture to the point where I'm actually able to do it.
Yeah.
But like, it's crazy to also know that like I feel like at the moment I probably know a little bit more about Christianity than I do
Yeah.
about
I can
Islam.
follow, but I can't like lead or like know what to do.
Yeah, like if you were to put me in the like when we do PT, and we do for that one guy that's in the front and that's like doing all the PT exercises and you follow through.
Yeah, yeah,
You have the same.
the instructor. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much we have the same thing for mosque prayers. You have
Oh,
one
yeah,
guy.
yeah, we do the same thing.
So it's like, but that could never be me.
Oh, yeah.
And what's crazy, and maybe I'm also delusional about this, when you hear the prayers in Arabic, right? They're not said as quotes, they're mostly sang,
The mostly what?
like singing. They're like singing
Oh,
it.
yeah, yeah.
There's
They're
something.
hymns. They're hymns.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So they're hymns, and listening to some of these guys do these hymns is insane. Their
Yeah.
vocals go
It's actually
crazy.
really pleasing.
It's a relaxing thing,
It's
soothing.
ASMR.
It's Islamic ASMR.
Islamic ASMR.
Islamic ASMR.
Islamic.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's so pleasing.
It's very calming. It's very relaxing. And obviously we don't know anything about what they're saying.
Like I could go to sleep to it. Like not like I wouldn't want to be disrespectful, so I was trying to stay awake. But it's just like, especially when you know absolutely nothing.
Some
Like I know
people, So like some people already listen to music when they go to sleep, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
sometimes some people either they put the hymns on as they go to sleep. I used to put the hymns on when I used to go to sleep. It's like my white noise. It's like leaving your window open in New York. Yeah, it's my brown noise. Yeah,
Kashmiri noise.
yeah.
We
Aram.
can come up with our own Kashmiri noise. That'll be our intro.
A Kashmiri noise?
Like you'll mix bhajan. So like ours are bhajans. I don't know if that's Gujarati or Hindi, but we call it bhajan.
Okay.
When you do prayer,
Yeah.
and then you have what you were saying with the hymns. What did it say? What were you saying? What's the hymns called in like Arabic?
Him?
Or,
I don't. They're just called prayers for us. As
no,
far
but
as I'm.
earlier you were saying like it was a saying or like a song. Or were you just saying like
Oh yeah, I'm saying like when they say the prayers, when we do the
yeah,
rakats and we do the prayers, and you're like listening to Imam do it, it's like listening to like a soothing song.
right?
And
We
then
should combine both of them, and that's like the intro. It
that's
sounds all cultured when we're like,
out of all the controversial things you could have said, out of all the you could have talked about, political views, Israel versus Palestine, the Ukrainian war. No. You went to the most. We can combine Hinduism and Islam.
both
That's the most Kashmiri, non-Kashmiri thing. We're both gonna die. You know that, right?
Bombers.
Yeah. We're upgrading the name. Yeah. No, we did do it to ourselves. We
That's
deserve
why
it.
it's called suicide bomber tech support. It was in parentheses for a reason.
That's why they stole the name from us for the Suicide Squad movie, DC movie. That's us.
That was us.
They looked at us and be like, Suicide Squad,
Yeah.
but with white people only. Plus,
Well, and the black.
the one black guy. So we have racial equality,
Yeah.
and the Academy can't come for us.
Exactly. Now we have to be what suicide duo or something.
The dynamic duo.
The 2 reasons to die.
No. Yeah, 2 reasons. When you say 2 reasons to die, I think of Dumb Ways to Die.
Yeah, I know. That's why it has that kind of that nostalgic feel, but also like it rolls off a little bit.
I just can't imagine they're gonna be like, an award goes to. Matter of fact, hold that thought.
Or do you have your Dundee's thing?
My what Dundee's thingy?
You had like some random trophy. Wait, is it right there?
Yeah. I'm gonna put this hole. Right here. Look at that.
Well, we got one reason to die now.
Yeah. I got 99 pro. Yeah.
Crazy.
I won this actually. This is
Yeah.
an award that I won for being the bestest customer in Disneyland.
Yes.
Bestest. I'm their bestest.
I was gonna make a really bad joke.
Yeah, what?
I was.
Wait. Oh, so-
Wait, but will it just can you?
And now that we know the joke,
You gotta subscribe to Patreon for that one.
that's a good point. We should open up a Patreon.
We could just all the extremely out of pocket stuff. Yeah, let's keep it.
I made a link tree.
Yeah, I saw that. I've never understood how people make those. It seems probably easier than it looks, and it's like such a official looking thing.
Whatever,
Tree.
as a software developer,
Ooh, wow.
okay, I gotta give my props to the Linktree people because the UI is so friendly.
Really?
And so what they do, and I did it on my computer because that was just like easier for me at the time. You like create an account, just like anything, and then they're like just link your socials. So you just go to your social page, you copy it, and the cool thing is they put the logo in there for you.
Yeah, they make it all nice and pretty.
And make it all nice and pretty, and you
they make the tree into a Christmas tree.
And they do. And people, here's the thing though. Here's the sad thing though. People look at the link tree and they're like, "Oh, you're a whore."
No, like low key. I mean, I didn't know at first. Like that's at first it was just like, oh, social.
Yeah.
But then when you randomly go and then you scroll, it's like, okay.
Yeah. Nothing is more satisfying than scrolling through TikTok and you seeing a beautiful woman, preferably goth, and you go through her profile. And the first thing you see is the age that they put down, like 21. And right below that hoe, they got the link tree. And it's like
So bad.
opening a gift that you bought. That's like opening an Amazon package. It's a gift you bought for yourself. You know exactly what's
Yeah, but
probably inside.
everyone else is gonna be paying for that. That's that bloodline. That's their life.
But here's the
Imagine
thing
that
though.
kid, bro. I feel so.
I feel
They're
so
gonna
bad for that.
get bullied so bad. All these women are destroying entire bloodlines. They don't even know.
What if it just becomes normal?
That's the sad thing because it probably will, and that's insane. Think about it.
But here's the
Think
thing though.
about it. Your own family, bro. That's normalized. Ugh,
It
disgusting.
would only be normalized, I think, in the white culture. But I will say this much.
I hope so. That's why I'm getting the fuck out of America, bro.
Word?
Like at some point, just look at everything that's going around, dude. This is insane. Okay, like America just 15 years ago till now, and like
15 years ago is a really good time scale. That's a really fair time scale.
Like, okay, I'm like American, like born and raised. Like you're American in a sense of not born but raised.
Yeah, very much raised. Yeah.
So essentially American, okay, and we're from there, right? Parents came from shitty places, came here. This is supposed to be the promised land, land of the free, land of the brave, like, oh my God, America, right? American dream. And like, we got people out here just confused as hell, like mental health crisis, bro. Crisis about pretty much literally everything. Everyone's
You are
bad.
saying, first of all,
Like,
ouch. But no, you're not wrong.
there's so many messed up things.
So he's like, you're saying a lot of things that can easily get us canceled, which is an unfair thing. Because it's like this. It's like you have the freedom to do whatever you want, but you have to say take the consequences with it. Some consequences are unfair.
Yeah.
So I will definitely agree with one ideology. America in the last 15 years has, but it's not only America though. The Western world or the modern,
Yeah.
not third world countries have just completely flipped on what we thought society was going to be. Like for example, like it was like 40 years ago, 2001 Space Odyssey got released, right? That movie, I don't know if you know what that is. It was a movie,
Space.
2001 Space Odyssey.
I don't think
It's a shitty movie. Don't ever watch it. It's like 3.5 hours long. But anyways,
Bollywood. No, I'm joking.
you know
You
what?
just said
I
three and
would
a half.
as much as I hate Bollywood, I would rather watch Bollywood than I rather watch the other one. But anyways, the movie was made a long time ago,
Okay.
and the idea in the entire movie of like the 2.5, 3 hours, there's 4 lines.
Really? Oh, is it one of those like miming type movies?
Not even miming. There's just a lot of cinematic masterpieces in there.
But there's no sound. There's no plot.
There's like no much speeches. It's there,
So it's just action or just scenes.
just scenes, nothing but scene on top of scene on top of scene.
Oh.
Anyways,
Okay.
in that movie, the idea was that they were going to make a movie on what they thought
Oh, like,
2001 was going to have and look like.
oh, so Space Odyssey was set in a time way before.
Yeah. So the movie was made like I think like 1950s, 60s, and
Oh,
they
so
were
it was made way back.
oh yeah, like old. Oh
So
yeah,
what
yeah.
was it? Like, oh,
No, the title of the movie was 2001. The
oh,
idea
oh,
was
the time period of yeah. Okay, got it.
so the idea was when they were making the movie, they said that by 2001, what we see, and the movie was like in space and spaceships. And all that, they said that this would be normal.
Yeah.
This would be the norm in the world at the year of 2001.
Right.
Never came to fruition, right? We obviously saw what happened in 2001.
Right.
We're definitely not even close to that. The other thing was that
It's like the Back to the Future type of deal.
we thought we were just going to be advanced societies.
Yeah.
The other thing was in the Back to the Future movie, just like you said, we thought that 2015 or 2012 or 15,
2015.
yeah, was going to be so much different.
Hoverboard,
the Nike Mags, the hoverboard, we tried. We made an attempt for a hoverboard. We have, I guess, in a way, we have cup ramen, but that was been like an oldest shit thing as well.
Right.
What else? We do have like sneakers now.
Yeah.
But it is not at all what we thought was going to be. Because we thought the problems of this modern world would be different. The incentive to work would be what you want your social class to be, because the concept of money wouldn't exist.
Right. But also, and that is so true, and I've always thought, it's like, are we actually progressing less fast than we thought? But then again, if you look in a lot of those movies, right, none of them would have predicted this thing, with everyone having it.
No, but we did,
from
though.
Kids and stuff. They had like holographic things, right? But the smartphone, like, imagine it was what? Apple iPhone, the first one came out, what, like 2012 or something? 10, 12? I don't know.
First iPhone?
Yeah,
No,
maybe it
I
was
must have like
earlier.
2008,
Eight,
9.
yeah. I
Yeah.
want to say eight, but then that was when the recession was. So I don't know if they released right at the recession. But regardless, before 2010, right? Would you have thought that at that time, right? 2010, and it's like, oh, in 10 years, this is what the phone's gonna look like, and everyone's gonna have this thing. And they say like, oh, a phone has more computing power than like NASA space shuttle for Apollo 11 or whatever. I completely agree. Like the whole aspect of like this is what movies said that we'd be at, and we're past that stage. We're not even close to there. But there's also other things that we never would have thought that they didn't predict, and we do have. But I was wondering what exactly was the point you were trying to make with the whole flying cars and Space Odyssey and everything? Was it just the fact that we progressed technologically, but not as much as we think,
So we like
or like
did
total
advance.
America, like downhill type thing? Or
So the thing was this: the idea was that we would be more advanced society, and no doubt that we are.
yeah,
I think of it this way: we're driving for 100 miles down an interstate. We're
yeah,
driving at 65, 70
right,
miles an hour. For 100 miles, we don't see a single cop.
right,
And then for another 50 miles, we see ahead, and we still see nothing.
right,
So we're like, oh, we'll speed up. And that's exactly what we did as a society. We sped up. We went from having a phone literally the size of this, like microwaves next to our faces,
yeah,
to slim devices that now we keep in our pocket, right? We made that happen like 10, 15 years. And now we're hitting that apogee of that success. And now we're coming back down to basically leveling ourselves back out again. Now, I was hoping I was thinking about this earlier too. Nothing is going to be as impressive until it's going to be something drastic for quite a while. You take an iPhone to 2001,
right,
mind blown. You take the Tesla, any Tesla back to 2001, mind blown.
right.
Now,
I
if
think
I
AI will be the next big thing.
that's the scary thing. AI is it's the next big thing.
It's rapidly infiltrated everything
Fucking
in just like a year.
But the funny thing, in my perspective, is I don't think people care enough about software as
Yeah,
they much do about hardware.
yeah, it's more precise.
Because software, like everybody that gets it at the same time.
Right, right.
Hardware is a little bit more difficult because it is physically aesthetic. So, like, I was thinking, like, what would blow my mind if someone from the future came right now? Let's say they came from 2050 to now, right? And they showed me, and they told me they're from the future. I'll be like, well, you don't really look anything like different. Okay, show me that
Yeah,
you're from the future. He's like, shows me the phone. It is holographic. Okay, cool. I'm like, that's cool, but it's not really impressive.
right.
What would blow my mind is if you like tapped the shoes and started flying. I'm like,
Yeah.
that would be mind
Or
blowing.
they're gonna have like bionic body parts, which I
Yeah,
think
that
is
was
gonna
creeping
be
me. Oh, I mean, I guess people already do though.
yeah, they do like in health reasons like prosthetics
Yeah,
because they lost something, right?
I don't know of any norm or sane person who's gonna be like, Mom, I don't like my left arm. It identifies as a hand. I want to identify it as a
No,
fucking
but
drill.
imagine sports and all that, bro. If that stuff gets legalized, okay, way back before, right? The human body is messed with like with technology, right? But now we wear it, right? Smartwatches. Okay, you have like the headsets. Remember Google Glass was gonna be a thing. Google Glass.
Yeah, I remember Google Glass.
And then
That was a wild one.
yeah, so that kind of failed or whatever. But regardless, we have wearable technology now. There's VR headsets, and it's funny you say the thing about hardware software because I think right now, yes, hardware is more like people, try to buy hardware like phones or whatever, and like devices, handheld devices, and then eventually it becomes more and more common. But software, I think eventually it might have that cusp where software overtakes because most of our life will be online. Like it already is in a way. Like think about like how we speak, right? Especially us younger generations, like our like Gen Z and after. Dude, like half the things we say is like memes and lingo and all that stuff, right? From the internet. Like the internet's like our life, honestly, if you think about it. Screen time is like almost all the time outside of being asleep. Even when you're sleeping, there's probably little iPad kids dreaming about their, candy. I don't know what games they play now, but whatever game they're playing, they close their eyes and start dreaming about it. But I think it was interesting the point with the software hardware because I think with virtual reality, it's going to become more reality than reality.
Yeah.
Software will be the biggest thing. Like people are going to have like you're saying what would surprise you decades from now, and then they come back here and impress you. I think like bionic body parts will become a thing because people can start customizing wearable technology. It's going to transition from like a phone where you don't wear it to now you have a wearable technology. So it's going to be like in your body. Like we already, Neuralink from Elon and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
that's fair.
That I think ethically that is something you're going to cross and you can never go back. And I don't. I think there are a lot of things we shouldn't be crossing, but it's going to happen regardless.
I think people are gonna come to this realize they're gonna basically become fed up with the world of the medical field. Be like, I keep hurting my hand. I
Yeah,
don't trust you guys. Your medicine isn't helping me. I'm gonna go
could
look
be
for the
that.
next best thing, which is gonna be a robotic arm.
Yeah, yeah,
And it makes sense. In certain context, yeah, I could see it. It makes sense.
yeah,
But I think what's gonna happen in 2035,
yeah.
we're gonna have a major war of the world. And we're gonna split the world
2035.
down the middle. And we're gonna have one side of society that's gonna be all Republicans,
Yeah.
and the other side that's gonna be all Democrats and liberals.
Are you just talking in America? A war in America?
I think in the world, no, because even in the world we have the conservative and liberal side. There's not much of
Yeah.
a middle party.
Well, it depends how you define conservative liberal, I guess. Like,
No, okay, we'll take the basic principles of each: conservative, religious, freedom of speech, guns, less rights for women, and traditional values. Democratic is same like freedom of speech, freedom of expression, political correctness, and
it's more kind of like a handout culture. Like,
handout. Yeah, absolutely. So the thing is, in the democratic world, what's going to end up happening is that they're going to be the ones with the weird bionic arms
yeah,
because they're going to be like, I identify as now a robot.
yeah.
I robot. It's probably going to be. It's a movie, and
Cyber.
Apple's going to make it.
Will Smith is gonna slap the fuck out of that robot.
Keep my cyborg's name out. That's good.
Robot kicks.
And Apple's gonna make it too. Welcome. This is the most revolutionary thing to human society. The eye arm. The eye. The eye
For
foot.
99 easy payments of 9,990
With a small loan of your entire left side of your body.
arm for our leg.
And with software updates to come, it's liquid
And you'll
cool.
lose more battery life year after year.
That's exactly what's gonna happen. Now, I'm not gonna say that if it's gonna be liberal conservatives, it's gonna do it, but I'm gonna tell you there's gonna be one side of the world that's just gonna become normal.
It's so weird and conspiracy theory and all that stuff right now, but I do agree. I think technology is kind of overriding our lives. I honestly am not really for it. Like literally, I was telling you, I was with my dad checking out cars, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, that's like I'm brown, right? I'm not gonna get a nice brand new Mercedes, 100 grand car, right? Like I'm gonna get my used Civic or something like that. But
Be a proper brown boy. Get yourself a good Toyota Camry.
I was thinking about it, but for kind of this reason that we're talking about technology, there's the Mazda that's super nice, right? It's got all the bells and whistles, the screen and everything. Now my eyes are super sensitive to the light because
Yeah.
I have pupils that are bigger than the average person. So I don't like having the screen for that factor because even if you dim it, it's bright.
Okay.
But then also the fact that I just realized I'm like, dude, I'm on my phone all the fucking time. Like I have tried for years, to get rid of this basically screen addiction. But our lives are so tethered to it, it's so hard to let go. I'm on my phone constantly. And now with CarPlay becoming apparent in like all cars, it's hard. The one place that you have to be off your phone is while driving, right? Because we're on our phone, waking up, for school, work, taking a shit now. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I'm on my phone in the shower sometimes. Like I, text them back or like listening to music because like I use it to listen to music, but then I'm like, oh, I'm on my phone. Like, bro, I'm like in your fucking shower, bro. Like, think about how stupid that is. But most people do it. I know in Japan they literally make like certain devices so you can use your phone in the shower.
There are like now like mirrors in the bathroom that have like anti-fog mirrors on them, and they have like the display like the ends. Yeah, so I know what you mean. Yeah.
And so literally, it's basically between this Mazda that has all the nice bells and whistles, the Civic. They're the same price. One's 2021, one's 2020. The Mazda is very luxurious, chic. That's all the screen and everything. And then there's the Civic, which is for people like kids right now would probably think that's an old as shit car, even though it's like really not. It's like
What year is it?
it's 2021, but it doesn't have the classic LCD screen that's very common now, whereas the Mazda does. But I'm actually thinking of getting the Civic because it's retro,
Mm.
because it's if I get this other car, I'm never going to get away from a screen. I'm constantly on a screen. And it's becoming so apparent in our lives, like everything technology. And I think like that's just a small example of like where I think I would be more of that less technologically based side that, my arm identifies as bionic, let me, switch it out. I mean, my arm is broken. That's why I would get one, because my shoulder's destroyed and has torn tendons. But
Yeah.
I do think this kind of separation you're talking about, I do think it will happen because we're gonna hit that singularity. We get past a point, whether it's AI, whether it's some software, virtual reality, where once you cross that, you cannot go back. Like, have you heard about the CRISPR gene editing for babies?
The what?
They literally
Oh yeah.
so some idiot in Japan already made one, and I think it's happened multiple times now. They already made a gene edited baby. Now, like, think about how like the implications that's in wild.
But that's a good thing though.
No, it's good if it's a medical thing, right? Like, say your kid, is gonna have Down syndrome, and then you edit the stuff so they don't. But the bad thing is, well, once that turns into basically a character customization tool, right? Because think about it.
I guess
You
in a
could
way.
create, bro, you could create the first Pakistani NBA superstar. Right? You want the height, bro? You
Well,
could.
who's Abdul Jabbar?
Well, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem, yeah.
I mean, he's black. I don't.
Oh, that's all. Never mind. Okay,
Yeah,
mind.
I think he is Muslim, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
But
anyways.
yeah, that's
But it comes out. It's like build a bitch.
yeah. Well,
If you think about it,
all the men probably will be at that point because we're gonna be identifying as weird shit.
this because here's my fear though. Let's say you can genetically now edit your baby, right?
Yeah.
What if you now purposely want to have like 20 babies and you edit them to be the finest wives or girls ever, right? You sell your daughters off.
But what? What?
Just think about it.
Well, that's the best. But like you're saying that so you and your wife or whoever have 20 babies,
Yeah.
and all Gina to be basically like models.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're a parent selling your children, I mean,
What are you gonna say?
should
Here's
be
the
a
thing,
parent.
we
Yeah.
people get dowries, we don't call it selling.
Bro, what are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about getting them. Okay, but
I like arranged marriages.
yeah, but
Some of those are like arranged marriages for money.
yeah, I mean that shit's kind of like fun. Like that's what you're hoping you don't do.
But that's probably what's gonna happen. What
Yeah,
what
some people will misuse the power. That's what I'm saying.
imagine this.
I don't have faith in humanity of keeping shit.
You got
because we're
admit
pretty fucked up in general.
fair. But there's creeps out there. We can admit that, right? We got sugar daddies out there, right?
Yeah. That'd be disgusting, bro. If they literally like gene edit a baby for themselves, like
That's what I'm saying.
that's
That's what's gonna happen.
and that's why I'm saying you shouldn't. Well, that's not what I was thinking, but like that is a potential consequence.
Oh,
Like that is a thing that could happen, and the fact that even having that ability for that thing to happen, it shows like we shouldn't even do that to begin with. I feel like gene editing should only be okay when it's for medical necessity. And then that line is going to get blurred. Once you go to, oh well, my baby is going to be blind the way it's going to be born, but then also I want them to have this certain color and have like perfectly shaped eyes and all this. It's like, dude, you're gonna basically have humans in competition with edited humans. And obviously, if you have a human that is edited to be close to perfection, they're gonna win. Like imagine you have a resume.
but
You're like,
his
I'm human. And
Yeah.
you gotta compete with the human that's built with AI, fucking technology, body parts,
modern affirmative action.
Dude,
Modern affirmative action.
I robot for
But this would be my
scary.
here's my thing. I am a firm believer in survival of the fittest. So what
Selection.
natural selection,
Yep.
but also we can control some of these variables. Let's say that we don't put the biology of editing kids, but we just put some other things on the table.
Yeah.
It is our obligation as the human race to make sure that we have the best version of ourselves out there every single time. That means that when I have a kid, or if I have a kid, I don't have a kid just because, like, oh, I want to be a dad now. No,
Yeah.
I should have a kid because, like, I know my genetics are so well equipped that I'm gonna have the next best baby in the world. That if they're not Albert Einstein, they at least have the smarts of being above average.
Well, you're saying to give an environment and create conditions where they can be that way, right?
No, but
Because
yeah, but
you can't change your genetics.
so that's the thing though. For
Like, if
me,
you're not a genius, you can't just have them born and they're automatically a genius.
exactly. But these are the things I can't control. For example, my immune system is unbeatable. I have an insane immune system.
Right.
My sisters don't. My parents don't. My little brother doesn't.
Right.
Also, my little brother's gonna be
Well,
6 foot, so
yeah,
that's
but
gonna be
he
a
has
little.
the issue because of like when he came here and all the allergy stuff.
But that's the thing though. But like even back home right now, my cousins get sick, my grandparents get sick.
Really?
For some reason I don't really get sick. If I get sick, that must mean something really bad is going on.
I thought your sisters did, or your older one did.
Yeah,
Like have a good immune system. Because I thought that was coming to America because
in a
America
way,
is softer. And
we have a stronger immune system, but amongst all my family members, I have the best immune system. So I have one. Is that genetics? Is that my environment? We don't know, but I can tell you that I don't get sick, and if I do get sick, something's actually
well,
wrong.
now it's probably known, probably more. It's inherent than the environment because your environment's probably much more diverse than your siblings.
Yeah,
Like military stuff, school stuff, work.
yeah. So being a middle, yeah. So I'm all over the place. But then here's the other thing. I I am short. Now that's the thing I cannot change.
Yeah.
I can maybe change it with surgery, but to the code of my genetics, I cannot change that. So the funny thing is this.
But isn't like it's not like bad genetics.
Isn't but to me, it kind of is. I don't want to have a kid.
In prehistoric times, yeah, it's like you're shorter, you're easier to get killed. But at the same time, you're taller. At that time, it's
But
like
I but
requires more
don't
calories, easier spotted by the enemy. Like
but here's the thing, if everybody's 6 foot, it's the same thing. I think of it this way. I think we should not have people should not have kids if there's some type of known genetic deformity within them or within their bloodline.
but that could be almost everyone, man. Right?
Not everyone should be having kids.
Well, the genetic deformity, right? Technically, no one has perfect genetic code, right? Everyone has something,
Yeah,
technically,
everybody has something,
right?
but
Otherwise, there would be no birth
but this is the variables you take. You take someone who's tall and strong with a good immune system, and you
Right.
take someone with a high IQ, and you combine those genetics to create a baby. If I'm 5'5" and I'm barely above average in
So you're saying you're
academics,
not gonna have kids?
I don't want to have a kid. No, I think it's immoral
Well,
for
I
me to
knew
have
you
a
didn't
kid.
want to have kids because of just prior conversations, but I didn't know it was because of this. I thought
This is one of the reasons. I don't want to have a kid because I know I won't have the best kid.
I kind of disagree. I think
I don't think folks should just have kids to have kids.
No, I
You should
don't
have a
think they should
you should have
either.
a kid for a purpose.
Yeah. You should have. This is my thing. If you want to have kids, you want to have kids, but you have an obligation if you have kids, right? Your obligation is every kid deserves good parents, the best environment they could have. They deserve that. They're a kid, right? They didn't choose to come in the world. You brought them into the world.
Yeah.
So as a parent, every kid basically deserves good parents, right? But not every parent, like you said, deserves to have a kid
Yeah.
because you're the one bringing them in. You have an obligation. I think you should set yourself up to give that kid the best possible chance to develop emotionally, physically, socially, financially, everything. Only then you can have a kid. Now, of course, a lot of parents say they're not ready. You'll never be 100% ready because you won't know until you do it. But you have to give them the best conditions they can possibly do. So that's why it's your personal responsibility, and you have to have accountability on yourself to become as healthy as you can be, as financially wealthy as you can be, and just overall bring that person into a better situation than if they for not to exist at all.
Yeah.
There's people out here fucking around, having kids, and there's some OnlyFans chick on fucking TikTok, or they're basically bringing them into a broken home, a broken, financial situation is
Have
trash.
you? So here's the funny thing.
They're messed up themselves.
When
Like you can't do that.
So here's the thing, right? When I look at my little baby brother, and I'll also say this, I don't want to be a dad for the fact that like I do want to have the dad experience. I feel like I had that with my baby brother.
Really, just like
So
him growing up.
watching him grow up, I feel like I've had the dad experience. Going to teacher,
Right, and
the
you
teacher
have
conference,
that for a long.
playing sports with him,
That's
playing
been
tag with
fun.
yeah, exactly, taking
Yeah.
their doctor appointments, knowing how are your friends, how's your school, hey, is there a girl that likes you, hey,
Yeah.
like what do you want to wear, do you want to style yourself?
Right.
I had, and I'm still having that experience with my brother. So if I don't ever have a kid, let's say I do or I don't, let's say I don't have a kid, right? I'd be like, okay, that's fine because I had the dad experience.
Yeah.
So I'm okay
I
with
guess
that.
it's a unique.
And I'm in a unique position to say
Yeah.
that I did. And my parents, respectfully, are now to the point where they're too old. Not to say that they're too old to take care of him, but they did their job.
Yeah.
They raised 3 of us who are adults in college.
Kids is a lot.
So if they give that responsibility now to me in a certain aspect of like picking, dropping, doctor appointments,
Yeah.
I think it makes sense and it's okay for them to do.
Yeah.
The funny thing was this, that when he was born, in the hospital he was born, and I was looking around the areas, and I'm seeing these folks that are obese with blue hair and piercings and gauges, right? These questionable individuals. And the doctor comes in, he's like, all right, we're going to do one final checkup for the baby right before you guys leave. You guys have everything set in your car seats? And the father was like, I don't have a car seat. I couldn't buy one. I couldn't afford one.
Yeah. Wait, really? But wasn't that? How old is something? He's like 12.
He's 12 now, but this was like back in like 2011.
12 years ago.
Yeah. So the dad was like,
That was when you guys were still on the come up.
we're so good. And not my dad, but like the dad next to the next hospital.
Something.
This is completely different.
When he was born, he was your dad. But
No.
Yeah.
It's another hospital room, and I see this wife with blue hair and the dad with piercing in his face.
Yeah.
And that's fine, whatever. They were walking out with a human being.
Yeah, I know.
Holy, and then I have a couple friends in the army in the last 3 years, and they were going through this grueling, excruciating experience. They were not able to have their own kids, so they went through adoption. And the adoption process, the money, the background searching, they checked your genetics or something. It was the most difficult job interview you've ever seen in your entire life.
That shouldn't be so difficult.
And objectively to buy a human being, but that's not what we're gonna say. To see the process and to see that hey, you now meet the criteria to take a human being home.
Yeah.
But then you see these buffoons taking their own human being home, and again, it's their own human being, but they shouldn't.
We shouldn't have That's why there's so many people that are messed up in this world. And it's not only, yes, of course, everyone has personal accountability, but think about it. If you had perfect parents, wouldn't you technically be like a perfect person? Like if your environment was perfect, you would be perfect. Now, no one can be perfect, but you aspire for that so that you get as close as you can, be the most healthy you can be. And the whole financial aspect, I don't think you need to be rich to have kids. I think definitely it's something you have to sacrifice. But you shouldn't be like you were saying, someone who can't even afford a car seat for their kid. So you're literally already putting them at harm's risk. Like literally, they have a higher chance of just mortality.
Yeah.
Right when they're born.
So then here's the thing, right? When you say if you have perfect parents, would you not turn out to be perfect? I think in 99% of the criteria, yes. These are the criteria. You're an only child. That's one criteria.
I don't. How would that be?
Because I don't know the stats obviously behind it, but I can tell you this much from friends that I know. One of my friends, his name is Sean. He grew up in Fairfield with me. Yeah. He was an only child, right? To me, his parents were perfect.
Right.
At all of his track meets, at all of his soccer games, recording his stuff, an only child. And now I'm looking at him, tall, handsome, smart, perfect man, humble, polite, right?
That's what it looks like the outside.
What? But the thing is, I can say I know him from the inside too, because he grew up with me and he was in Fairfield, so we did everything.
You know the vulnerable side.
I do know. So we did soccer together, we did projects together, we hung out together, we had sleepovers, we had trick or treating. So we grew up with each other. So I knew the ins and outs it's somewhat of his life too.
Right.
So he grew up to be a perfect kid, and he wasn't the only example. I've noticed this consistently as an only child with good parents, not to say perfect parents, but good parents. There's going to be the outcome is going to be success. The other aspect of this is for example, my parents' perspective.
Right.
To me, my parents are perfect,
Right. Right.
but for the exception of my two sisters who are perfect, I'm the oddball out.
Right.
I took a completely different path than both my sisters. I didn't go to college directly after I graduated high school.
Right. Right.
I joined the army, so I chose a different path for myself.
Yeah.
I wasn't a plus student every single time in all my classes.
Right.
My sisters were always like that, and Mitzvah is still like that today. For me, education at times just came naturally. So if I had the passion to do it, I'd do it. For people like my sisters, like Hefsa and Mispa, they struggled to get to where they are. And I guess in a way, they found the passion to do homework. Every kid's like, nobody likes doing homework, but some kids are good at it. They were good at it, and they kind of got their own like dopamine satisfaction of doing the homework. I just never did it. I just hated
I
it.
was like that in high school.
So they turned out, and I ended up being the oddball out. Not to say that I'm not perfect, but now I'm a little bit further behind than where they are.
I don't think so.
I think I am, and I say that because
You're younger. One,
yeah.
obviously from your older
I'm
sister.
younger than my older sister,
Right.
yeah, but
And you're not that much older than your younger sister.
I'm not that much older. But I am basically I was like 2 years behind on school because of that, and I had to do a lot of
I
catching
mean,
up.
she's graduating this semester, right?
Yeah,
And you graduated last year.
no, I still have. I'm not
Oh yeah,
graduated yet.
technically, yeah. I didn't know that until
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing though. Like in my eyes,
But they
I'm
don't
not.
have any of the other shit though.
Well, like what?
Military,
Okay.
okay. All these other side hustles outside of like a, big boy job, like
Yeah.
salary job, right? Like this
But for
here.
them, but that's the thing though. It's inevitable for them. I got an early kickstart on it in one aspect, but I'm gonna get a slow progression out of it too. So for Hifsa, she's going to the
What?
medical field.
Right,
She studied and she's still studying all the way through.
right.
So she is broke
Yeah, so
studying
in a
and
way,
there.
couldn't you say you're at?
But that's the thing though. But once she's done though, she's gonna make 6 times that amount I am gonna make, and Miss was about to make 4 times the amount I'm about to make as well. As soon as she is done.
But she hasn't even started rebelling. Or you're saying
Well, she's going to. She has some stuff lined up for herself,
right.
and they're a lot better.
Again, there's something.
There's so many other variables out there. So there was one with Michigan, then there was another one in Minnesota, then one that came up in Iowa.
Like MIS.
Yeah, MIS. Yeah. And I don't know her whole situation either, but she's gonna be making a lot more money than I am as well. Her bonuses are gonna be nicer, her credentials are gonna be nicer, and not to say I'm almost there myself, but to say that they're basically right now in a way they are doing better than I am.
I don't believe yourself.
No, I do. I'm a narcissist. I give the credit. I give the credit for myself that
Right.
I did other things.
Trying to use this as an illustration for the only child thing.
Yeah, I'm using this as an illustration as the parents who are perfect parents will have 3 out of 4 perfect kids. There will be always one oddball out.
Oh yeah. But again, like you said, in your eyes, they're perfect, right?
Yeah, to my eyes, they're
You
perfect.
you know that of course they're not actually perfect though, right?
Yes, not no, they're not supermodels.
I was just saying like uh perfect parenting theoretically would give a perfect kid, right? So if you are very far from perfect, and obviously no one can be perfect, but at least ideal, then yeah, you shouldn't be having a kid.
Yeah,
And I see what you're saying about the only child thing. I think yeah, if you're an only child, obviously all of because people say that you can have two moms or two dads, and it's just the same, like
yeah,
honestly, I disagree with all that stuff. I think like yes, you could still have a very healthy children, everything, but like a father's parenting, a mother's parenting are different. I don't think that you can't have these two different roles and like in our very progressive feminist whatever and just say like a mom can do the job of a dad and a mom and a dad can do the job of a mom and a dad. Like there's a reason why there's importance to both. Like you can't have the same sort of upbringing with just a mom or just a dad as you can with both. And so those two have that certain role. And if you're an only child, of course you're basically getting all the benefits, you're getting all the love, all the attention, everything. And I think that could make you a quote unquote perfect child. But the flip side of that is you might get entitled and narcissistic, and you think that the world revolves around you because you have two parents that literally their world might revolve around you. So
So
I see what
so
you're saying, but I think there's
so you do believe in the more traditional values of parents?
I think over college, because right, I'm whitewater shit, right? I grew up in America through and through. I don't even think about any of this stuff. It was only until I think in the past 5 years or so when all of this kind of very big push for, women, women, women and everything, like diversity, the transgenderism, anyone can identify whatever they want, cancel culture. I think with the upbringing, or not the upbringing, the uprise of all of that, I think I just by default have realized that's not what I really vibe with. I don't like it. And as a response, as a reaction, I'm leaning more towards the traditional stuff. But if none of that ever happened, then I'd just be chilling, just like as I always was. I don't think like I'm conservative per se. I think I've just become because I'm not a really political guy. I didn't even understand any of those words until I took like AP Gov in high school. Then I'm like, what is left and right, bro? Like that's just your hands, bro. Like
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
whole like news channels. I'm like, what are you talking about? One's more left, one's right. I thought that it's just news, you know? I didn't
So
know any of
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And I think I'm more conservative as a reaction to this very strong kind of progressive revolution we've had just in like 5, 10 years.
In the last 7 years, I would say.
Yeah.
I would say I think the good scale of the last 7 years we have had one of some of the major things. Kids that were born in 2000,
Yeah.
right? A new year, new millennium, whatever it is.
Yeah. Y2K. Yeah.
So there was that big shift of them graduating high school, them graduating college. Then on top of that, then you had COVID. Then you had this modern society of progression, and everything just got crumpled up together,
Mess.
and it's just a mess.
We got a salah.
We got a salad.
They put the ranch in there, but they put the chutney, they put the salsa, they put the barbecue
Folks
sauce.
are out here putting fucking pepperoni with mustard.
Yeah.
It's like it's a whole mess of a situation. And I think the reason is now that like people want to stop other people from talking, and now more people want to be more open to talking, and now it's just a collide. And it's a bigger collide than it's ever been before because people back in the day knew about politeness.
Yeah.
We've lost the basic principles of being polite. We're not a controlled society anymore. It's
You're just
complete
saying
chaos.
everyday interaction.
What's up?
You're just saying like an everyday interaction with people, or like
I would say, yeah, everyday interaction with people.
I mean, low key, that didn't just kind of happen when I was telling you about parking the car,
Yeah.
and the white guy just was like, "Can you move your car so I can like get out?" And I'm like, yeah, okay."
Like, how
I'm like, I would not go to a stranger like that.
I would go up to be like, hey, actually, I plan on parking here. I plan on heading out. Is it possible you can just move your car real quick? Those type of conversations don't happen anymore. And you can notice it in society. People are more entitled. People are
Oh,
becoming
yeah.
no more, hey, thank you for holding the door for me. Be like, hey, watch out, I'm coming on your left. Or, hey, how's your day going?
I don't know. Like, okay, I've grown up in a house that's in a very Caucasian neighborhood, right? And not to say that non-Caucasian neighborhoods are not like super polite or safe or whatever, but whatever it is, we have like straight up no crime. Like no one will rob my house, but we don't have like like a fancy security system and like neighborhood watch and all that stuff. Literally, garage is open a lot of the time. Shit's unlocked. Like very safe, right? And people do like yeah, there's the sweet little ba da da like the white grandma grandpa whatever. They'll do the wave. They'll say on your lap when you're walking or whatever. They're very friendly.
But that's the old generation, though. They had those principles instilled into them.
Yeah.
Look at these new kids. First of all, kids that are between the ages of, I would say, like 13 to 17, right? Look like they're 21 to 25.
Yeah.
The other thing is
looking more older and older.
Older as they get. I swear to God, ran into a high school kid. He was 17. He was 6'4", had a full beard. He was a ginger and arm hair like an Italian man that I've never seen before.
Dude, it's the food, man. GMOs.
Something's going on with the food. The other thing is, you look at how some of the kids are now becoming more unpolitically correct. Look at them video games, right? And how what?
Isn't that a good thing when we're like in an extremely political?
No. Because here's the
Or are
thing:
you saying just like rude?
they're rude.
Oh yeah.
They're because you. And the sad thing is, even it's happening in brown households now too, because they're getting more whitewashed. Be like, my kid would never.
Yeah, my parents said that
My
like
kid would never.
they were like rowdy and shit.
Yeah,
Which like we were too, right? Like we say this, and I'm sure the old generation says this about us, right? Like, oh, look, we were 13, 17. Okay, oh, kids these days, you know. I think
yeah.
it's a thing that always happens. But I think the difference now is we grew up with technology, right? But we had a glimpse of what it was like, you know, the dial-up, like not having a flat screen TV, not having a phone. Like we at least had a little bit of that.
I think we were born within the perfect timeline
It,
of modern
I
society.
wish I was born in the 80s or 90s though. So then you get that like up, you get your whole childhood without technology.
If so, here's the thing. I mean, again, maybe I'm a perfectionist, but I think my birthday is the perfect birthday. But then again, if you're thinking about a societal point of view, if I had to choose, I would have preferred to be actually born in 1990.
Yeah,
And it would have made because I would have gotten
it's messed up now.
because I would have been more cultured.
Yeah.
I would have been
You're pretty good for the fact of like you said it was the perfect time you came here.
yeah.
So you would have had
But that's the thing though. Like in America, by the time you guys already had flat screen TVs in 2002, 2003, I still had a CRT TV in 2010 and
like
11.
the box shit.
The box.
Yeah, so we had that too because we were still in the motel. We didn't have a house yet. But
Yeah.
but the average American, yeah.
So to average American, all these kids have DSs and
Yeah.
Game Boys.
I was the one kid who never had DS.
Now, what is that?
I'm okay with it now, but at the time, yeah, it's so popular.
And it's so funny because like even if and maybe it's good that I don't have it. I don't have that addiction to gaming.
Yeah, I don't either.
And I think not to say that gaming causes more like crimes or whatever, but what gaming has now instilled in people is disrespect. Standing behind a screen, saying what you want, not taking the consequences.
I think
of
that's
it.
gaming and social media.
Yeah, that's what I mean though. Now people are not got comfortable in this idea that they
Yeah.
can be behind the screen and say whatever they want.
And that is translating to real life.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Because I see some YouTube, because I'm not really on social media, right? I'm not Instagram or
Like,
something.
you know what I hate? I hate TikTokers and I hate YouTubers who do prank shit.
Yeah. There's very few that are actually good friends.
There's a few good ones.
They're just annoying bullshit.
Like what's this one that's like this 21-year-old kid, his sex tape just got released. Jack Doherty. I don't know if you heard of him.
That's someone.
Yeah. 21, right? He's a complete dick.
Yeah.
He like is like
He's like Danny Duncan guy. I remember at Randomly watched this shit.
I don't remember Danny Duncan.
He like skateboards. He's like he looks like a skateboarder.
Oh, okay.
Like some of the stuff is funny, but I remember some of the pranks. I'd be like, oh, ha, and then I'm like, oh, that's kind of fucked.
Like you know, like the good old pranks of where people are like, "Hey, can you go into this? Can you like watch my kid or something?" Right?
Yeah.
The camera turns around, they come back, and the kid is like an adult. The ones
harmless.
Harmless prank. Jack Doherty's pranks are like this. They're like they would go into a mall, they would harass people, and when they were about to fight back, he would get the security to go up on them. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? That's security. I'm like, and the thing is that they've lost respect and principle.
Yeah.
And the reason is, y'all didn't beat your kids enough. Whoop them.
Yeah.
Not abuse them.
Yeah.
Whoop them. Once in a while.
That is something where like
grounding is even now a bad thing.
What is
grounding a kid?
Yeah.
We don't ground kids no more. What?
I never really got grounded.
I got grounded. Are you kidding me? I feel like
but you just get like slapped, or you like you go to your room because you're scared, not because you're grounded.
Sure, but there was that fear factor of I did something wrong, and I'm gonna get the consequence of this action.
Oh yeah.
Nowadays, kids are like, I'll call CPS.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do, mom and dad?
Yeah. I feel like brown kids can't really do that, but the longer you're in America, you can. Like I thought I was whitewashed, bro. When I see the kids that are like still actual kids right now, I'm like, bro, you guys are low key like kind of dumb, and then also, yeah, you're just rowdy as hell. Like, you know, boys are boys, girls are girls when you're young. You know, you're annoying, you're a kid, whatever. But there still is that level of like, you don't say certain things, you don't do certain things around certain people, especially elders, right? And I didn't grow up super traditional household, but yeah, like I still got my ass beat sometimes, shit like that. And you don't really realize. I mean, I don't want to say because like it's kind of like I don't know if it's good or bad, but yeah, you don't really realize the benefits of it until like you get older and you notice like okay, even I'm whitewashed, whatever, whether you are or not, us brown kids, uh, Hispanic kids, whatever, like the ones who like do kind of get beat, like there's a difference in when you look at the little kids and how they act in like certain stores and shit. Because
Yeah.
you best know if you break that pickle jar, you're gonna get broken just like that pickle
Yeah.
jar, bro. And the white person breaks that pickle jar, it's like, oh, Johnny, you're so clumsy. It's
Oh my God, I'm so
okay.
sorry. Anyways, I'm gonna go to the next aisle, but you guys can clean this up.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
mean, there are some families,
there's
okay,
some,
white
yeah.
families, they do, and I don't know if it's good or bad, but generally it's like the ones that aren't as like physically or not physically, financially wealthy,
Yeah.
and I feel like that kind of corny, very soft white American stereotype comes from that,
Yeah.
the kind of wealthier, softer parents because they don't want to upset their children, but it is more common, I think, objectively in the white American community than I don't know, like colored or whatever you
I
call it.
like the thing is, I've never thrown a tantrum I genuinely don't remember me ever throwing a tantrum at a store. Because my Baba's
Yeah,
word goes like, oh, we will see when we get home.
I'll give you something to cry
No,
about.
no. That would have my dad was like, we will see when we get home. We will see was either no, we're not gonna get the thing that you want to
Yeah.
get, or we will see is fam, we finna see God tonight.
You're not gonna be seeing shit.
No, no, no. Black out till next week. And my parents
I'll
were
slap
smart.
you in 2050.
They
I
were.
can tell me what it's like.
My parents still beat my ass. Okay, that's how. And it's like the thing was getting whooped to a certain point. Getting whooped wasn't the hurtful thing; it was the emotional damage.
Oh yeah,
It
and
was
that's why
emotional damage that got you.
I,
Like, mama,
especially at that age, it
yeah,
actually affects you developmentally, but you don't know because you're a kid.
it was a real life Bollywood sitcom.
Yeah.
Mom slapped son.
Discount, discount, discount.
No,
Okay, 5 commercial breaks. We'll figure out what it is.
no, no,
And there's like the scream.
and then the father would come with his 6 rings,
Yeah.
like a pin unbuttoned shirt. This is because of your fault.
Yeah, but I will say that, and I kind of hate doing this kind of sort of progressive, like I guess like less traditional, more modern, like softer approach to life parenting in the future. But I don't think the answer is necessarily to keep on beating your kids. Like, okay, our parents were probably beat more than we were, and then we're beat. And I thought, yeah, growing up, it's like I don't want my kids to be like all these entitled assholes. So it's like, yeah, you gotta beat your kids, like those jokes, right? Like,
Yeah.
and we're talking about right now, like on comedy shows when brown people or black people or whoever say those jokes, like y'all didn't beat your kids enough. Gabriel Iglesias,
Yeah.
he said that shit too, right? And he's like famous as fuck.
Russell Peters is like, you gotta beat your kids. You don't want them to be left out. You can't let them go to the playground and be
You
like,
go to inner city school,
yeah.
diverse though.
My dad beat me with the slipper. My dad beat me with the belt. My dad sent me to my room. Room? Are you kidding me?
Oh my god.
But like, even though that was a joke, it objectively was true. Like I said, don't abuse your kids. Beat your kids
But
once in a while. Make it like a birthday gift.
I think though if we want to break the kind of generational like trauma or whatever shit that brown kids like. I think that's why I say when you talk to your parents, you have a relationship with your parents. It's very unique for most brown kids and their families because it's not so close and open like it is. And I don't think, on a serious note, I don't think the answer is like continually beating your kids generation after generation. But I think it's a combination of that kind of gentle parenting of like talking or whatever, but also the aggressive parenting. Not necessarily you have to hit your kids physically, but just not hit them in the heart and like make them all, give them childhood trauma that they're going to grow up with. But aggressive parenting in a sense of like, I think the only way you instill discipline it's either through fear or respect.
Yeah.
And like through boot camp, right? It kind of starts with fear and it ends with respect. Because in the beginning, you're just like, fuck, the drill sergeants are gonna fuck you up. But at the end, once you actually they kind of show a little bit of their real self and you know what they go through, you've heard some shit, then at the end of it, you're like, oh, I respect them, yes, because I'm scared of them.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be. But I also respect them and do what I was told because like I respect them. So I think the goal is, and it goes back to our point, and this isn't even trying to like do this, but like it just kind of wrapped up nicely. We were talking about having children and like who should have children, who should
Yeah.
not. And we were saying, and I was saying like you should. It's personal accountability, making yourself the best person you can be to raise the kid in the best conditions they
Yeah.
can. That's the obligation you have. That's you only deserve. I think you only deserve to have kids if you do that. And so having that parenting is you were supposed to be on that respect level rather than that fear level. Because
Yeah.
like we grew up where you have certain decency, common decency that maybe like we like maybe white people can't say that they have like to represent all of them. And of course, there's some assholes in the brown community too. But
Yeah.
I feel like it's less prevalent.
Iraqis.
I don't know. I can't speak. I don't know any, but like
I'm on Pop Squad. Yeah.
I'm on the Kashmiri side, you know, in this.
Yeah.
But we were instilled with fear. So I think the next thing, because we'll never be perfect, right? Say your entire family, bloodline after bloodline, you'll be perfect. But to get closest to that is you want to bring the respect aspect where you're stern but gentle.
There was a video I saw on TikTok, and I think it like wrapped up really nicely. It was a guy who was reacting to a video on TikTok, and the video he was reacting to was a woman. He's like, and I identify as a wolf. Oh, he paused the video. He goes to the other room and he talks to that hey dad, yeah, you busy? No, why? What's up? Thank you for beating me as a child. You're welcome, son.
Yeah, I think I don't want to say benefits 'cause that's kind of like a bad.
No.
propagate.
I'll keep it a $1.50. I think it benefits a child to learn the punishments of modern society. It's rather better to get physically beaten than emotionally beaten because physically beaten is an immediate fix. Emotional beating, you got to think about it, learn, and whatever. I mean, again, I'm not a psychologist.
Both though, right? If you get physically beat at a young age, you're getting emotional, whether you know it or not.
But no, so like I said, like the emotional aspect will always be there because you're looking at these folks who provide for you, give you everything. They've given you the very breath,
They just switch up.
and like they're basically breaking their own phone.
Yeah,
And you're like, oh my god, I can't believe this happened. So that must mean that like they didn't do this for a whole 3 years. If they did it today, that must mean I really fucked up. Like I
Yeah.
really did something that
If
wasn't
you or
supposed
if
to do.
your kids don't do it all the time.
Yeah. Oh my god,
That's
practice.
actual abuse.
Yeah,
That's
you gotta get them used to it, right?
you don't want them to count as
You,
the hard
you,
it is.
you don't want them to one day turn back around and be like, yes, daddy.
Whoa.
That is as a kid. That's as a kid how you get away from us.
No, bro.
Mustafa, you're being bad grades. You're not paying attention. I see you talking to all the Habibis at school. Yes, Baba. What the fuck did that is?
That is a weird thing, bro. Like,
What?
like dad thing. Like,
The daddy thing? I like it. I don't know much about it.
I know, but developmentally, that's kind of fun.
No, but I'm pure always say it's because of the girls with the daddy issues, and I'm like, I can see it. I can see it, but you're right. I don't understand why.
Messed up.
It is a little weird.
Like daddy issues, but you're turned on by that. I don't know. Anyway, that's Patreon.
Get that on Patreon.
This is the two lawn chair casting.
Yeah, did you actually know after this we're gonna hop on our OnlyFans?
Casting.
The casting chair.
There's a reason they're black. What? Two lawn chair, two LLC.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, this is very well shaped for Patreon subscribers only.
Cut.
I should probably set that up though. I don't have a Patreon.
I don't even. I only know that from YouTube.
Setting all this up wasn't honestly that difficult. It was just cumbersome.
Yeah, I wasn't I could help set up. I mean, I didn't even know you were doing all this. I thought we literally just pull up some mics and talk, but it is kind of
But here's the thing, in retrospective, this is a perfect test example for me, right? So like next time I'm gonna have multiple, a little bit more camera setup. I have a better way of monitoring my
really, I mean,
audio.
I feel like this.
No, for sure. Like two cameras, it works. Like I want my other friends and our other group of friends to be part of this too. I think it's more enjoyable to have more group of people to talk to.
I feel like I would want them as like guests. I still
No,
want
no, no,
the
no, no,
main
no.
thing, Kashmiri boys talking about brown shit, right? Because there's some things you can't really talk
No,
about.
no, we can. That's what I'm saying. Like we can have guests, but for us, we're
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah. The duos there, they took our suicide names. So suicide duos, scammer
Yeah.
bomb, textbook. But then you can have, it's like, hey, it's like we got beat as children. How is it not gonna be?
Yeah.
We have one white person.
Henry, tell me about your life.
Henry,
What was it like being sent to your room?
What is
Define this my safe space.
what is
What was it like getting a puppy for Christmas?
Yeah, I can't, steal the jokes from the people who actually had it bad. Technically, yes, I had to share a one bedroom place with my parents, and my sister, whatever. Because the whole Gujarati hotel motel thing. We live in the hotel,
Yeah.
and parents work. But I can say I was privileged enough to have my own room since I was like literally like 7. Because we've been in that house it's crazy, but it's been like over 15 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it's great. Congratulations, because
I mean, there's no congrats. It's not like a
no, because like our house for us is our first house.
yeah.
So
This
this,
is too. That's
and it's kind of hard to think of, weird to think about like the
yeah,
timeline was, but like we've been in our house for 9 years now.
yeah. Because but you were when did you move from Fairfield to Waukee?
I moved in 2015.
15?
2015.
Okay, that makes yeah. Well,
And before then, we lived in trailer parks. We lived in apartments.
really?
Yeah, we were broke.
In Fairfield, where'd you guys live then? In the trailer parks and stuff?
So the basically the Fairfield cult community
Right.
of the Maharishi was something we were completely surrounded by. So we lived in the trailer parks. That was our first original home. And when we came to America, when we got out of the airport, we got into that Honda Accord, and we came to our first home. It was in a trailer park,
Really?
and to us, it was an
Did
American
you
home.
have any familial support when you pulled up? You know, after
So
leaving the
yes,
airport and
so
stuff?
what happened was Dad left before we came. Couple like a month or 2 months before we came. So he came here, he established himself, got the job, went figured his secondary schooling situation back out again
Yeah.
because he was getting a second master's in America, and then
Wow. Same.
yeah, and then he also found
Yeah.
no, mad props to my dad. Would not be here without him.
Yeah.
Literally, I was in your balls once. So
And then
thanks,
he
mom, for
backed
not.
you out.
Yeah. And that's a conversation for different that we can add about that. But so yeah, so dad came here, he established us, and then we moved here. So we first lived in the trailer park, and after a
Right.
couple years later, you know, financial situation got a little bit better-ish, but not really. We upgraded ourselves to an apartment, but the apartment was bigger than our trailer park.
Right.
So that's where we lived at then, and that was the last place we lived at in Fairfield. So that was all what we call in the MUM campus. Maharishi University Management was the college town,
Okay.
and that was a campus that we lived on.
Right.
Across our apartment was what we call the dome, where all the people meditated, men's dome, women's dome, and that's where we lived. And then we finally, got our paperwork situated,
Right.
and then we finally came down to the Des Moines area in 2015.
How has that been like literally going from there where you started in the trailer park? Because you actually and if this actually goes out to anyone, for everyone listening. So I was actually born, in Illinois, in America, but Ali was in Pakistan until it was age 5 or age 7?
It's 6.
6. Oh, I was almost there. And so he was actually, born not here and then came here and then like you were saying, the trailer park and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you have some sort of working memory from when you were a kid because you had like crazy memory. But
Yeah.
going from there to the because that's something that I can somewhat relate, but not fully. Because
Yeah.
we lived in the hotel motel, so yes, we live in a small place, whatever. But I always had everything I needed,
Yeah.
and also I didn't grow up with three siblings. I only had one.
Mhm.
So like going from that trailer park, which I'm sure was cramped, I don't even know how you'd fit that many kids in there, to apartment, and then now the house, because now it's like a couple $100,000 house. I'm sure a very nice house, very comfortably fits all of you. Like that progression, like has it really impacted you? Like, did you notice it? Did you observe it firsthand,
I
or
think the
was it
way
just oh, it's a thing?
I think the way you said it was the best. We did not know we were broke
Yeah,
as kids.
yeah.
To me, especially, I was just living one
Just
day
living
to
your
the
life.
next. So to me, I never realized it. And again, you're between the ages of 6 to 15, right? And there's so many different things going on in your life that you're myself that was so busy with that I never thought about the other aspects.
Yeah.
So to me, it wasn't
Most of your day was school, so
yeah, that's the thing. Most of it was school activities, after school studies. So it didn't hit me because I knew
yeah,
my responsibility and everything that I grew up with was just always consistently there. We ate dinner as a family. It was
right,
always there.
right, right.
We had, our clothes ironed. That was because we had
Yeah,
uniform. That was
all
always
that
there.
stuff.
Right. So we didn't think about like, oh,
You
this
had
kid.
breakfast, lunch, dinner. You had a bed. You had a
We,
place.
so to us, to me at least, it was just living life.
Yeah,
Now, obviously, looking back at it, and now, like mom and dad are now understanding that we're not kids anymore, and they told us some of the stories of some of the struggles that we had. My God, the fact that they never broke down, the fact that they
yeah.
never cried, and maybe they did
I did in
sometimes.
private, or like maybe your mom did.
My dad too.
Yeah,
The fact that they were so emotionally stoic
yeah.
is something that
I think it's
now
behind
blows
closed
my
doors.
mind.
It's behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors, I don't doubt it. We're also hitting it from the back, but behind closed doors, a lot of things are happening. And
Best
now
behind
best
closed doors.
best
Some of those things. Best behind closed
best behind closed doors, especially when we were not home. Uh, didn't it didn't hit me until we. To be honest, I don't think I even realized it until maybe 3 years ago
doors. Right,
of what our situation was like.
right, right.
Because then I finally became like, oh, now I'm 21.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I have
You're like,
health insurance and
yeah,
money and a car and adult friends, and I'm going on my own trips without you guys.
right, right.
And then the conversation came between like, hey mom, I want to plan a trip to Pakistan. Hey mom and dad, I want to go do this. What is you guys' opinions? And hearing their stories, and that's how like our conversation with them started, was like seeing how it was. I was like, we lived through that?
Yeah,
That's what we did? That's what you guys had to do? Blew my mind.
yeah, yeah,
Because now it's not that I understood it, I comprehended it better than I was
yeah.
an adult. Because now my parents were like, that's just in the past. We would never be in that situation again.
Right,
We
right.
could lose everything here today, but I also got a bank account, a Roth IRA. We're so set for the rest of our lives.
Yeah,
So now we can talk about it comfortably. But back in the day, it was like it was excruciating.
yeah. For them,
For them.
yeah.
For me, obviously, I didn't realize it.
Ignorant, right? You don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for us, I can't say like I don't want to be a poser. I don't want to be like, oh, I have gone through all this shit. Like I'm an immigrant, right? That's why I open heartedly tell the brown community I'm whitewashed as fuck. The white community, I'm like, yeah, I'm whitewashed, but I'm not white.
Yeah.
Like I don't really want to, can, or really desire to be like identifying with that kind of culture. I do want to be more on like our brown side because I realize it's like if you think about it, the way that we are successful is like the immigrant shit, like the traditional shit. Like you stay family oriented, education oriented,
Yeah.
you hustle, you don't show off your wealth, you keep it, and then that's how you're able to level up. Because isn't it just like wild to think about that in literally less than a generation, essentially half a generation, you go from trailer parks to nice houses to essentially Teslas,
Yeah.
no, Honda, but
There, there,
Tesla
there was
what,
there was there was a few high points,
right?
no doubt. Yeah, yeah,
That said that he like worked or had ties with the embassy, right? And I was like helping getting here.
Well, yeah, something like that.
And
I mean, like whenever you ask your parents, like, "Hey, Dad, what do you do?" They're like, "I do processing."
yeah,
What
you
do you, Dad?
know,
What do you do? I do import export. There's not a straight answer. So even now, I can be like, "Dad, what do you do?" I make money and
yeah,
I eat biryani. That's
but
that's
but he has the comp side degree, right? He does something with
so
software.
he does something with software.
Yeah,
He's like now in like the higher management. He's
right,
worked his way
right.
up, so he's doing really good. But like, I'll be honest, I still can't explain what he does.
Yeah, no, no, no. I just wanted just the rough idea, but like, just it's just crazy to think like literally going straight from Pakistan, India, to here, because technically your family is in a way a half or like a full generation behind where we were, right? Because technically my parents were more so in your shoes, and I would be the generation after for your family. That's why I always say it's like yes, I'm whitewashed, but it's like we're off a generation because my parents were the ones to come as kids. You just were like a decent amount younger than they were because they were kids. Um, like they definitely went. Oh, they were still pretty young. They were like 11, 12, something like that, right?
Well,
And now they're in their 50s, so they've been in America for like 40s years.
yeah, so now it's well acclimated. It's well
Right,
appropriate to say that they are pretty much American.
right,
And I'll even say that as much as myself. Like, here's the funny thing: I, to myself, objectively, I don't think of myself as brown. I don't think of
right.
myself as white. I think of myself as a man. I'm a dude.
Yeah.
I'm a dude, and I'm in America, and that's my life. I use the race card
What
for
it
clout.
benefits you. Yeah.
Okay, and it does a really good job.
Light skin that if you dress a certain way, you dress like white,
Yeah,
you'll look white.
and I have the benefit, and for
It's
the
only the eyes and the slight hair color change from like classic brown,
yeah.
light skin. That's the only thing that would give it away a little.
But that's the thing though. Like for me, I don't throw race into really anything that obviously benefits me. But only when I say benefits me, I only use it in the comedic sense. I
Right.
never, except for one exception, but typically I've never used it in a way to be like to better myself in the future because it's just me. Now, the only time I
Right.
did use it was basic training and AIT.
Oh yeah, dude, you got so
I
much shit.
use the shit out of that on
That's
the
great.
daily. Hey, I'm
Honestly,
brown though.
anyone would, I think, do the same. If I actually knew, well, the difference is with Hinduism, there isn't prayer. Like, I mean, there is arti, but like, you can't leverage it the same way that I think if you're Muslim. Like, if I was actually like Hindu, like I knew shit, I might have leveraged it. But especially being at Fort Benning, I think I would get my ass whooped, dude, if I like pulled some shit. But yeah, you definitely like you destroyed that race card for basic training. The way that you talk
Oh
about it,
man, like a whore, man. Who needs a green card when you got the brown card and and goddamn there, yeah, that I did it, but
nowadays in America, you can have any card you want. You
yeah,
choose it. You know how they say pick a card, any card? Bro,
this fuck
that in America, bro.
because you can magically now do
You
things.
kings be queens, queens be kings, jacks,
Yeah,
the
jokesters out here. Yeah,
Joker. Yeah, we got jokers, we got jacks, we got
we got people dressing like clowns every single day. Okay, I am
it was too easy.
I'm comfortable in the presence of my own home.
Bro, it's like so many colors,
Hey, like I got the LSD SpongeBob, got the MTV, and then I got the Naruto Ichiraku ramen
It's,
things.
it's definitely like a stay at home vibes. Like Sunday.
Nah, this is just a me vibe.
I mean, I know you'll go out. It's just funny.
Yeah, we have Joel this weekend.
You have.
I have Joel this weekend.
I am in Texas.
Want to take me with you?
What? I
No,
mean, well, actually, I go to Denver this Friday because I have job training next week
I can't go. I have to put 3 months in before I let them know I have to leave.
for ABC.
No,
Or
no,
you're
no.
doing drill, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. I know. See, that's where I lucked out. Where I forgot that I split train because I actually sent split train last month.
Yeah.
Because they keep on telling me to do. I've been doing it well in advance. I told them before I even applied to Texas, right, for this job.
Yeah.
Which is like boring as fuck, by the way. I have no idea how previous generations suffered through all this work.
Yeah.
Uh, but anyway, I lucked out because I tried switching April drill to right before May's drill because I'll be in Texas by then, right? So then I can because I was supposed to be in Texas or Denver this entire time. I didn't know all that changed until now, or like a couple months ago. And then I just told you I found out from Clark today. It's like, oh, I already split trained it. So I took military leave off from my company. I just got approved. But then I'm like,
Ah,
wait, I actually don't even need this military leave day, but I already
yeah.
got approved. So I only need one of them. So now I'll have a couple days when I'm just here.
Are you be there with AT with us or no?
Yeah, I mean, I have to, right? I
Well, I mean,
can't.
I don't know because a lot of people split train that one too. So
Yeah, but I'm not in school anymore. I don't technically have an excuse to split train.
yeah,
And that'd be a bitch to split train, especially like what 3 4 weeks. And
yeah,
I'm working now, like I've done 9 to 5.
yeah. You're an adult now. How does it feel?
And ass. I said at the beginning of college, I'm like, this work shit's ass, bro. I do not want to work. I'm just gonna be in.
So let's just hope that this works out so we can get you the fuck out of there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I realized like, dude, work. You're just bored out of your mind. Your mind's all in a million places. This is the one time where I realized my mind's always constantly overthinking.
Really?
Good conversation, yes. It may not seem like it, but no, it definitely does. Good conversation is the only thing I think that could be an actually like fulfilling career, right? They always say like get a job that you love
Mm.
and never work a day in your life. How the fuck are you supposed to get a job that you love when you haven't done anything to know what you want to do, right? I feel I'm so I hate that shit in high school when they do that stuff. But bro, I mean this is just fun. But like if it blows up, it blows up. Remember we were
That,
talking about that, right? Like,
if it blows up, it blows up.
wait,
Don't know what he's talking
uh,
about.
scammers, bombers, whatever.
Yeah. Tara say what? What? No? And naughty, naughty. No, but it's funny because like I, though some of my hours are grueling and sometimes it sucks. It sucks like in the
But you
aspect of I love my job
dude, that I've been so jealous of people who like I never do what I wanted to do.
because this is my job. This is that is my job.
Like that's like a cool job, right? Like all this kind of typical Dr. Lawyer engineer shit. I've never really been about the brown stuff, right?
You know what? Here's the thing. I think the jobs for being a lawyer should be given straight to women because there's nothing more satisfying than watching a woman. There's nothing more satisfying to a woman than knowing that she won an argument.
Yeah, dude, it's weird. They say guys have an ego. Okay, I'm not like I want to be like sexist, but like honestly, bro, I feel like in most relationships and most things, there's a reason why they say the wife's always right. It's not
Happy wife,
because
happy
she's
life.
right. It's
Yeah,
because it's the headache that you get.
yeah.
You're right, but she wants to be right.
Because
I would have said that at Brown wedding so bad because people gaslight everyone. They're like, "Oh, the wife's right." Or like, do they not like tell them that like, dude, this is a joke. Like, guys don't actually think you're right all the time.
yeah.
It's just you can't accept.
But that's the thing though. That's when stereotypicalness of jokeness becomes a concept. That dude's dick must be so big. He must have a massive horse cock.
Bro, he should be the twin tower.
He probably is. I think I
on top of the other.
yeah. I'm like I got a rope back there. No, to a point, the joke is emphasized on a topic, and from there, it's actually emphasized into reality.
It becomes reality.
And now that's where we are at this point now.
And that's why I don't fuck with that shit. Like, if you want to talk equality, well, there's equality and accountability and all that.
Yeah.
I am not gonna. I was always a people pleaser growing up. Like, I was very avoid conflict. Like, I was a quiet fucking kid, right, all the way up until like high school. It's only when I'm comfortable I can, be open. But I will not like if I'm that guy who their wife is just yelling at you constantly and you're just like, you just take it, bro. Fucking shoot me, dude. Scrap the best of me. tell me go. You know?
In 9.11 seconds, call 911
Yeah,
because yeah, yeah.
because I think that shit is so fucked up. Like, especially in America, they talk about what's it called, the patriarchy or
Fuck the patriarchy,
misogyny.
misogyny. Yeah.
Right. But I think, dude, if I just look at men in relationships and marriages, bro, I think, and don't like this isn't hating on women or anything. It's just like I feel like a lot of times men are the ones suffering, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you there
Like
for a
in
couple of
in
reasons.
this argument aspect.
Okay, maybe so. Here's my perspective on it. Nowadays, men are not being given men have lost the ambition to be respectful and have lost the ambition to be graceful and bold. But at the same time,
I feel like that's cancel culture.
well, that it is. Irrespectively, yeah, it is because here's the thing though.
Like
For the
you could just
majority of
shit
the
on a
world,
guy. Like a bunch of women could just roast the fuck out of you just for you existing. People will be laughing, no one will do anything. If you did just a single thing to a woman, everyone's all on.
yeah, because hypocrisy part of society. That's how you have a
Think about
functional society. You have hypocrisy.
it.
If you don't, then everyone's living in a dictatorship. The thing, no, here's the thing though. The long story short would be this: that like my perspective is it's okay, and the reason it's okay in some aspects, not every aspect, in some aspects, is because we as men, like it or not, we do and did control the whole world. From making the
Right.
wheel, from hunting, from
That doesn't
politics to
mean
laws to
everybody
religion,
else.
everything was man, 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 man. And we
Right.
mean it, man, 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 man. So then when women finally started getting their own independencies, their own freedoms in a way, and they started doing the things that we did so often, and we're not used to seeing them do it so often at all. Now we're like, yo, why are you doing that? You weren't like this before. No, they were just never given the opportunity to. So it sometimes makes sense. Now, yes, I will say that right now, men are being not appreciated as much. They're getting treated shitty. They're not given complete the credit for the work that they do. But that's also because they always gave the credit to themselves in the first hand, anyways. So if it's just at this moment now that we're having a little bit struggling with men trying to find who they are, I think it's okay. I think it's needed. I think it's healthy.
I think if it's growing pains, it's growing pains. But I don't think it's right. Like you could say it's okay if that rebound happens. But I feel like in the past, a lot of women today, right, say the patriarchy, fuck the patriarchy, oh, I'm oppressed. But it's like, no, like you weren't oppressed. Maybe your mom was, maybe your grandma was, but you cannot take. That's why I was saying earlier, like I don't want to be a poser, right? I like if you're an immigrant, right? But you're the immigrant's child, you can't say you had all this immigrant struggle when you didn't actually have it yourself. It's your parents, right?
Yeah.
You can respect it, you can talk about it, you can discuss it, but you do not have the oppression that was
Yeah.
before you. And I think a lot of women, like these so-called feminists, which again, I did not even like think about any of this shit before like college. It's only when it like pervades your everyday life and like you're almost forced to have an opinion about it. They want to take that oppression as if it was theirs, and then women were treated as second class citizens. What is the repercussion? Let's treat men as second class citizens. So they're just fighting fire with fire, which is like if you really think you're better than us, then you should be doing something better than what we did to you.
I think the concept is this. I think if you want to break the system, you have to be part of the system. And right now, we're in a stage where women are becoming part of the system to slowly break it down. It's a good thing that we have things like HR. It's a good thing that we have things like equality. It's a good thing that we have our own societal form of checks and balances because we have kind of gotten away with it a little bit too far at some points. And it does seem unfair. But I think this right now is just a natural progression. And I think when we look back at this conversation 5, 10 years from now, we'll be like, yo, I can't believe that was part of the life. There's going to be a point that we're going to be equal again at a fair level of equal.
Right. Because I think this whole thing, like you're looking at HR, right? You're probably talking about like the diversity quota.
Yeah.
So people of color, I don't know why they have to be all politically correct. Colored people, same thing. But women, right?
Yeah.
Women in the workplace. Okay. The whole idea is we don't get a fair shot. Okay. Misogyny, yada, 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 right? Well, the solution was let's have quotas that you want to be judged on your work, not on your gender, right? On your credentials or experience, whatever. So the solution was let's have quotas and basically let's hire women, not because they are necessarily the same merit, but because they're women and we need to meet these quotas, which is literally the definition of sexism,
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
makes absolutely no sense.
It made sense. You know, it doesn't make sense maybe now, but it made sense 20 years ago. It made sense 30 years ago.
I think if there's encouragement, it's we want to be. This is a goal, but this shouldn't be. We have this goal of 20% in the workforce, whatever. Let's hire more women because of it. That's literally the opposite of what they wanted in the first place, and then they complain about it when they're in the workplace. But I think, I mean, it's like if you want to be judged by fairly, you should be judged based solely on merit, nothing about gender. Because learning accounting has nothing to do with your gender, right?
You're fair. So this is the one thing I've always advocated for.
The
And
most this whole quotas and basically giving you an advantage based on your gender, if
So-
you're a woman or a person of color, whatever.
that's why I was so I guess I don't know, technically against affirmative action, which was to make sure that equal amount of proper kids and genders go
Yeah.
into a school. And the fact that it got like removed is a good thing. People
Yeah.
who deserve to be who are smart deserve to go to smart schools. That's a fact.
Being brown, they all end up being brown.
It's whatever. Now, when it comes to the women's situation, it's really hard to put a proper
I understand if it's like the hiring is from these old boomers that they're truly sexist.
yeah.
And it's like because you're women, you can't do this, which most things isn't like that, right? If it's a physically laborious job, makes sense. But anything else, not really. But the thing is, those people are gonna die off.
Yeah.
Right? Honestly, there's more people that are extra pro women, they're sexist in favor of women now than they are for men, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I don't understand that argument. I'm like, if I think about it, if I had like a sister or a cousin or whatever, and you actually want equality, you want equality based on your merits, not your gender.
That's what, like I said. So nowadays, that's why as I'm trying to remember what I was trying to say, but what I'm trying to say is that like nowadays, modern society for hiring, at least maybe not school, but hiring,
Yeah.
no name, no gender,
I agree.
and no age. I
No
would say
face, no picture.
no
nothing.
picture.
It's straight.
Strict,
Literally-
objective credential.
Yeah, give everyone like a number or something, which is funny.
Yeah.
They say you're a person, not a number, but
Yeah.
in reality, companies they don't care.
No 100%. You're a company number. Yeah.
And exactly, I don't know. And we literally have technology. We have AI. You don't need because the sad thing
We
is-
got AI. Doesn't mean we have AI yet. We got to give it a fair more shot.
Well, I'm saying like now there's the applicant tracking software, right? When you apply for jobs, so there's already the software. Eventually, AI is gonna get in there too, probably.
Yeah.
But regardless, I was just saying we're technologically advanced, and you can easily do that because it doesn't. If you want to remove bias, humans are biased whether we try to or not. If you literally try to train you on being less biased, you become more biased.
Yeah.
Like, have you heard like they try to train cops to be less racially biased, and it actually
Now,
has a backfiring effect. They become more racist.
shit. I don't want to get into that because that'd be too much. Yeah. Anyway, the world is fucked. And it's our responsibility, our generation is just going to be either fucking it up more or we're going to be fixing it.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be tough.
No, just make the entire country Indian and we'll be fine.
Of course, because one had that now.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, you got the prime minister of England.
We
Prime
are
Minister.
we're taking over. We have the most.
Yeah, of course you guys are taking over. There's a billion of you.
I'm glad.
Nothing left.
That's gonna be less whitewash, bro. Because if India takes over, it's like, oh, I'm Indian. Yo, I'm playing the card when it benefits me. I'm Indian.
You guys, and
But I'll be out of the American army by then. So if we go to war, it's like, hey, I'm going with Team India. Chak de India. You
what?
know?
Pakistan's in the bar, folks. That's all I can say. Hey, it was a great conversation.
Of course, always, like always.
Yeah.
Kashmiri boys.
I can appreciate the Kashmir Valley is now officially mine. I claim this land is mine.
No, dude, this is
You're
the
dumb.
line right.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much a wrap.
So
I think it's a great wrap.
it's a Ducati roll, bro.
Yeah. Click my link tree. All the entire video will be posted on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. For the people that didn't queue into watching, thank you. If you didn't, I'd love to know why you're such a dick. But there are people that did watch it. Hey, DM me. Let me know what went good. Did the audio sound good? Was the picture quality good? Did transitions work out just fine? Was there any discrepancy that popped up? This is our first test run.
Yeah.
We got a lot of experimenting to do. And
And
hopefully,
I do not have a link tree. I'm not really on any socials. I'm
so he's
kind of.
Amish, believe it or not.
pretty much-
I pulled a random guy in a horse and a buggy.
I just like phone call and FaceTime, text them out.
His number will be ladies. Number out says, hey,
AP Going Psycho is my Instagram handle, and for some idiot reason, brown people are calling me by that, which is my white name. What white people don't know, every brown person has a name for white people and a name for brown people because that's their actual name. So
Oh.
AP is from college.
Yeah.
So AP Going Psycho is my Instagram, which I'm not on Instagram.
Can you just be normal? Can you just make a regular Anand Patel tech support?
But no one can say Anand, bro. Even you have trouble sometimes, bro.
Yeah,
Anand-
doesn't
Anand-
matter if I have it.
That's what I'm saying. If they can't say, they can't say. But anyway, we're all inclusive here, you know.
Yeah.
Scam-
Hey, hopefully next time we'll have a guest. Is maybe an idea. Hey, whenever you're,
Scammers, bombers. We can have the non-grounders. You know, they didn't get grounded.
shit, we can set this shit up outside.
I mean, I'm in Denver this next week, but I'll be back. That Sunday.
Yeah.
But also, you know, I think I have a wedding. The end, of course, the most brown thing, bro. We have like so many weddings. It's amazing, though. I love it.
Shadiki.
Yeah. 6 weddings this year, at the end of the month. But I'm supposed to be leaving. I was saying Denver this weekend, right? This Friday. But there's actually having the worst storm they've had in 3 years. So it might get delayed. I hope it doesn't get canceled, but potentially might get canceled. So I might be in Des Moines for at least Friday, Saturday, potentially.
Whatever the case may be, I got drilled this weekend. Text me next time you're free.
What if we did
but
at drill?
they would kill us. They would murder us.
Pocket trading.
Fair point. On that note, thank you guys so much for watching.
So,
And fingers crossed we'll see you again, okay? Deuces, gang.